What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 2 Centigrams Chapter 36. The King Returns. The Third Divine Battle, The Dance of Flames and Ice, 5th Update. Advertisement. After the video ends briefly, the screen lights up again. The scene at this time moved to another place. This is a huge factory. The screen zooms in, and inside is a huge stadium. Everyone in the world reacted again. This time, the scene should be a new battle between gods. The synopsis of Charizard that has been played for so long just now, so it is very likely that the one who will fight this time is Xiaozhi's Charizard. Sure enough, Xiaozhi's figure appeared on the screen again. That outfit was exactly what he wore against Brandon during the first count. Opposite Xiaozhi is an uncle wearing a red hat, a white coat, and a little stubble. Dara. Oh. Is it my turn to fight Xiaozhi this time? Close black lens bracket. Brandon. When did you conquer the legendary Pokémon? Close black lens bracket. Annabelle. Dara, you conquered the legendary Pokémon and didn't tell us? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. The remaining 6 leaders of Battle Frontier began to condemn Dala. After all, it is basically impossible for Xiaozhi's side to have a magical beast, so only Dara's side has a magical beast. Normals in the development area are in constant contact with each other, such as the news that Brandon has 2 divine pillars. The rest of the leaders are aware, but when did Dara subdue the mythical beast? Dara. No. I really haven't conquered the mythical beast. If I conquer it, I will definitely come over and show off as soon as possible. Close black lens bracket. Dara. Wait. Could it be him? Close black lens bracket. Before anyone could ask who that him was, Xiaozhi had already thrown the Pokeball in the screen. Roar. As expected, Xiaozhi sent his Charizard, judging from the degree of physical strength. Charizard should have gotten some good training in Charizard Valley. Is Charizard back so soon? What's so fast? It's just a moment on the screen, but who knows how much brother Xiaozhi has gone through. Indeed. But what kind of divine beast will the trainer named Dara release? Advertisement. Kanto's Battle Frontier is really awesome. There are actually 2 trainers who have mythical beasts. Amid the discussion among the people around the world, Dara looked up to the sky and shouted. Come out, Articuno. Bah, an icy bluebird Pokemon flew in from nowhere. There are still little bits of ice chips floating behind it. The colorful flag-like tail is magical in ice blue, and there is a bunch of beautiful snow-white feathers in front of it. The legendary beast, Articuno. The picture stopped, and lines of subtitles appeared on the screen. Inventory of those Pokemon that used their mortal bodies to fight against gods, 3. Open black lens bracket. Battle venue. Battle Frontier Battle Factory. Close black lens bracket. Battle object. Xiaozhi Charizard vs Dara Articuno. Close black lens bracket. Everyone in the audience, please start placing your bets. The time limit is 5 minutes. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. It's Articuno. What a surprise. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. It's time to popularize Professor Oak's science again. Articuno should be the mythical beast of Kanto region, right? What is his strength? Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. Although Articuno and Regice are both divine beasts of ice, they are not at the same level in terms of flexibility. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. Articuno not only has the advantage in the air domain, but he also has the power to freely manipulate ice. It is said that as long as Articuno flaps his wings, heavy snow will fall in soaring in the sky. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. And not only the ice power, but also the adjacent water power, Articuno is also very good at it. The moisture in the air will turn into sharp ice at any time and become a weapon for his attack. Close black lens bracket. With the popularization of Professor Oak, everyone has a relatively superficial understanding of Articuno. Anyway, it's better than Regice. Brandon, please leave the group. Brandon. I don't agree. There are ways to use Regice. In some cases, Regice is naturally stronger than Articuno. Close black lens bracket. As a fan of the Divine Pillar, Brandon naturally couldn't stand Professor Oak stepping on the ice Divine Pillar and praising Articuno. Bruno. I know your Regice is great. Now who can tell me, is it possible for Xiaozhi's Charizard to win? Close black lens bracket. Yulongdu. Difficult. Close black lens bracket. Lorelei. Difficult. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Blaine. Difficult. Close black lens bracket. Day. Difficult. Close black lens bracket. Ice experts, flying experts, and fire experts all came up with a difficult word. Ah, who is the flying expert? That is of course someone who calls himself the Dragon Messenger. Dandy. Although I don't want to admit it, if Xiaozhi's Charizard wants to challenge the legendary Pokemon Articuno, the chance of winning is really slim, but believe in Xiaozhi's possibility. Close black lens bracket. Alder. I think so too. Close black lens bracket. Dandy and Alder have been loyal supporters of Xiaozhi since the first game. No matter how bad the situation is, no matter how big the gap in strength is, they all believe in Xiaozhi's possibility. However, possibilities are ultimately illusory. Not so many miracles happen in battle. In terms of hard power, the gap between Charizard and Articuno is only 91 or 82. Then, guess result. 90%. 10%. The betting rate is 9 to 1, Xiaozhi's odds of winning are already as high as 15 times. But still not many people bet. With so many odds, you can imagine how unpopular it is. If an upset was so easy to explode, it wouldn't be called an upset. I'm sorry, brother Xiaozhi, if you go to Pikachu, I will definitely bet on the possibility of Pikachu, but Charizard. Brother Xiaozhi, it's not that I don't support you, it's just that Charizard's flaws are too big. Even the Tiandao inventory has hammered away Charizard's flaws. How can we win a high-end game? Hey, brother Xiaozhi, I just want to make some extra money. I don't have any bad intentions, I'm sorry. 90% of the people in the world do not support Xiaozhi. Some of them are rationalists, some are dog gamblers. Some people want to think in the opposite direction, and Xiaozhi will be happy even if he wins points, even if he loses points. Except for these 90% of people, the rest are passionate and impulsive people and real dog gamblers. Chapter 37. Complete Suppression, Charizard's Big Crisis, First Update. Advertisement. Xiaozhi's performance and Charizard's firm belief have attracted many fans. They all support Xiaozhi and Charizard unconditionally. Some dog gamblers really want to take a gamble, no matter how big the gap is. Compared to the gap between Pikachu and Regice, is that a big difference? You Pikachu can defeat Regice, so what about the flawed Charizard defeating Articuno? Kill me, Charizard. What Articuno, I'm always invincible. Show us your tenacity. What flaws, overcome them all. Are we still going to suppress the little devil? Of course. That Charizard actually made us pay such a high price to send him into the Charizard Valley. I believe you will definitely show the corresponding strength. Jessie said firmly and directly put in the 10,000 points in her hand. As for why there are only 10,000, of the remaining 90,000, 80,000 were used to build new robots, and 10,000 were used to buy food. As a low-level member of the Rockets, I have to follow Xiaozhi every day, and I don't have a cook. How could they hold back when faced with so many delicious foods in the Tiandao store? Directly redeem 10,000 points for a luxurious meal. I couldn't even finish 10 meals. Gary, who was sitting near the Indigo Plateau Conference, was as fierce as a tiger in his operations. 5,000 were pressed directly on Xiaozhi. He is definitely the person who trusts Xiaozhi the most. After taking a sip of tea, Gary murmured to himself. Don't let me down, Xiaozhi, Charizard. Gary will definitely win, Gary will not lose. The cheerleaders behind the scenes are cheering Gary on. Xiaozhi, do you want to beat Charizard to win? Faced with Misty's inquiry, Xiaozhi replied directly and matter-of-factly. Of course. My Charizard will not lose. You're so confident. How much pressure did you press this time? 30,000. Champions. How come you have so many points? Advertisement. Bruno asked with a confused look on his face. Of course, I beat myself to win every battle before. I also spent 300,000 on a space backpack. Misty and Xiaogang also have 100,000 points, but after buying some ingredients and daily necessities, they only have 70,000 to 80,000 points left. Good guy. When it comes to relationships, you always put pressure on yourself to win, right? Is this a Pokémon that doesn't care about the winning rate and only believes in itself? How cruel. However, it is precisely because of trust in his own Pokémon and trust in his partners. Xiaozhi and his two friends can earn so many points. Who are you guys going to take custody of? Ming asked Xiaogang, and Yulongdu answered calmly. I believe in my choice, press Articuno. Sorry Xiaozhi, I think Charizard really has no chance of winning. Lance himself is also a senior Charizard trainer. He abandons all external factors and only looks at his strength. There is no way Xiaozhi's Charizard can beat Articuno. It's okay Mr. Lance, you don't need to worry about me. I will suppress Charizard. It has nothing to do with my strength, but because I believe in Charizard, that's all. Roar. Facing Xiaozhi's trust, Charizard almost shed tears again. The current Xiaozhi does not have any superb tactics or a smart mind. But his love for Pokémon has always been at full level from beginning to end. After a period of commotion, the bets of many champions also came to fruition. Among the champion elite, except Dandy, Alder, and Cynthia, everyone beat Articuno to win. Naturally, Xiaogang and Misty followed Xiaozhi in betting, and each of them put in 20,000 yuan. Dandy and Alder are 5,000 each, and Cynthia is 300, because Cynthia only has 300. Cynthia, do you also think Charizard can defeat Articuno? Well, in terms of strength, Charizard definitely can't beat him, but if it's Xiaozhi plus Charizard, that's not necessarily the case. Interesting, let's see if your hunch is accurate. The bets were finally over, and the images on the screen were officially played. After the two parties called out Pokémon, they did not start fighting immediately. Instead, the roof of the battle factory was opened first. Charizard and Articuno are both Pokémon that can fly. If the battle is limited to the battle factory, there will undoubtedly be fewer tactical restrictions. After the roof opened, another episode appeared, that is, the Rockets trio appeared on the screen again. He even boasted that he wanted to arrest Articuno. However, under the triple blow of Freezing Ray, Flamethrower, and Thunderbolt advertisement, they turned directly into stars. This made all the champions dumbfounded. I have been working hard to destroy Team Rocket since I became the investigator, but if Team Rocket were full of such talents, I think I could even retire. Yulongdu said. After a small interlude, the two sides began a formal battle. Articuno, Freezing Ray, Charizard, Flamethrower. The battle between fire and ice. When the scorching flames touched the cold light, they were in a stalemate for a few seconds, and then directly hit the freezing light back. Solid hit to Articuno. Charizard actually had the upper hand at the start. Well done Charizard. Encore Flamethrower. Spin along the pillar of fire and use Steel Wing. What? Articuno spread his wings, pressed his body against the blazing flames, and approached Charizard. The dual wing beat turned into metal and hit him hard on the chin. Charizard's Flamethrower stopped and flew out upside down. Hail. Darla took the opportunity to turn the weather on. Whether it's Brandon or Darla, what they have to do is control the field immediately. If the venue is owned by them, then it will be a great advantage for the battle. Charizard. Encore Flamethrower. Roar. The scorching flame spit up again. However, it has started to rain soaring in the sky, and Articuno's figure is hidden in the snow. Flamethrower failed. Just when Charizard was looking for Articuno, a freezing beam shot out from Charizard's blind spot, a direct hit on Charizard. Fortunately, Charizard is no longer what it used to be. Even the legendary Articuno's freezing beam didn't cause much damage to him. But he has been completely suppressed now. This is an unavoidable fact. Chapter 38. Unexpectedness Number 1. Xiaozhi's cool move set the venue on fire. Second update. Advertisement, Dandy. Charizard has really grown a lot. Close black lens bracket. Day. This cannot be denied. You must know that the mosquito-repellent Frog King could seriously injure Charizard with one move of freezing light. But now, the freezing light from the mythical beast hits him without any pain or itch. Close black lens bracket. Yulongdu. But now Charizard has been completely suppressed. If I guessed correctly, the ability of Articuno should be Yukigakure, close black lens bracket. Snow hidden. In the world of Hail, Pokémon with this ability can hide their bodies better. So after opening Hail, Articuno seemed unpredictable. Therefore, the current situation is overwhelmingly unfavorable for Charizard. Even in terms of hard power, Articuno may not be able to match him, but now he has opened up a hellhole for the opponent. Coupled with Articuno's snow-hidden ability, I'm afraid if this continues, Charizard will be beaten to death by the opponent. How should Xiaozhi deal with such a situation? Charizard, pay attention to the direction of the opponent's attack. Freezing light. Next, use Flamethrower on there. Roar. Facing the light coming from the laser, cold to the point of mechanism. Charizard stretched out a wing and blocked all the light. Then he opened his bloody mouth, and thick flames spurted out. Boom. Yo. Articuno, who was invisible in the snow, was directly hit by Flamethrower. It took his form. Hit by Flamethrower again, Articuno also let out a pitiful growl. Trading injury for injury. It's interesting. Articuno, use Blizzard. Bah. Faced with the opponent's strong dismissal, Dara naturally would not fight head-on with a fire-type Pokémon. Using Blizzard in the Hail world has a 100% hit rate. The already howling and biting cold wind became even colder when Articuno flapped his wings and gathered the power of ice. Countless tiny Iceris attacked Charizard. The tiny Iceris contains extremely powerful ice power. Charizard, use Fire Spin on ground. Xiaozhi issued an unexpected command. What does using Fire Spin on ground do? Charizard naturally trusts Xiaozhi's command unconditionally, and he also knows what Xiaozhi wants to do. Roar. The scorching flames spit up from Charizard's mouth like a whirlpool. Normal's flames hit the ground. Advertisement, then it bounced right back up. Charizard's whole body was directly wrapped by Fire Spin. The blizzard used by Articuno was completely blocked by Fire Spin. Audience. Wakao. As expected of Brother Xiaozhi, he can always do some unexpected things. Can Fire Spin still be used like this? I've learned a lot. Brave Fire Dragon, not afraid of difficulties. Charge. Defeat Articuno. Xiaozhi's command is very interesting. Emperor Dan's eyes lit up when he saw the tactics commanded by Xiaozhi. Although the foundation is not particularly solid, in terms of unexpectedness, even Alchemy Emperor feels that he is ashamed of himself. It's not as good as Mr. Dandy said. Idiot, Mr. Dandy is talking about you in the future. You can't give such a command now, okay? Misty pours cold water on Xiaozhi every day. Xiaozhi has long been used to it. Who makes them happy enemies? In the image, after Fire Spin blocked Blizzard, the dilemma on the court remained unchanged. Charizard was still surrounded by the sky, and Articuno was hidden in the wind and snow again. If the opponent doesn't attack, Xiaozhi's injury for injury strategy won't be used. In that case, let's fly Charizard, roar. After receiving the order, Charizard spreads his wings and flies high. Straight to sky at Battle Factory, however, there is still a hail day here. It's useless Xiaozhi, Articuno's hail sky can cover the surrounding weather. Even if Charizard flies up, it's impossible to evade it. I didn't want to avoid Mr. Dara. What's the meaning? Charizard. Use the most powerful heat wave on the surrounding area. Roar. Charizard spreads his wings and flaps his wings crazily. The surrounding flame elements gather on it. Fly out with a strong hurricane. A searing storm has swept through the entire battle factory. The sky and the earth are all covered by heat wave. The hailful weather that could have lasted for a long time gradually disappeared under this scorching storm. Advertisement after brute force cracking blizzard, Xiaozhi once again showed a wave of cool operations to the audience around the world. Crack hail with heat wave. Dandy. What is this? Close black lens bracket. Day. I can't understand, but I'm shocked. Close black lens bracket, Lorelei. Can the sky be broken like this? Real or fake? Close black lens bracket. This operation directly confused the elite champions. Could the unexpected operation we had seen before turn out to be just the tip of the iceberg? This young man is really terrifying. Can humans really come up with such a strategy? Dara, who was under the influence, was also shocked and speechless. He would understand if you just covered it with sunny day, but your heat wave breaks the weather. This is really unheard of. After heat wave cracked the Hail Queen, Articuno hiding in the snow was revealed. Not only that, under the influence of heat wave, his speed also slowed down a lot. Now, Charizard, Dragon's Breath. Roar. The majestic green energy beam blasted out, hitting Articuno who couldn't dodge. Hit it hard on the ground. Dandy. I'm not Sister Lee, why don't you use big words to get angry? Close black lens bracket. Day. Fire Spin and Flamethrower are also fine, but why use one that is not of this type and is not restrained? Close black lens bracket. Bruno. You never know what trick Xiaozhi will use next. Close black lens bracket. I finally figured out the opponent's weather and could definitely guarantee that I could hit the opponent. However, Xiaozhi actually used Dragon's Breath, a move that is neither a skill of this type nor a restraint skill. It's so confusing. Obviously using Flamethrower directly can cause very good damage to Articuno. So Xiaozhi, can you know what you were thinking on the screen? Diantha asked Xiaozhi. Xiaozhi himself is here. Maybe. I want to use a move I haven't used before. Well, this answer is quite Xiaozhi. Obstacle. Chapter 39. Charizard is in a desperate situation and is about to be defeated? Advertisement. Xiaozhi's answer left many champions speechless. This was probably what Xiaozhi was thinking during the review. You can never imagine what Xiaozhi will do next. It's okay. It's not a big deal if you take a wave. Charizard has a big advantage, okay. That's right, Charizard just took some of the opponent's ice skills, but the opponent was hit by Charizard with multiple fire skills. The field has also been cracked. Maybe Charizard will win this battle. Damn it. I should have believed Xiaozhi. This is also the case with the Heavenly Dao inventory. Doesn't it say that Charizard is defective? How can he still become so strong? Damn it. Audiences in various regions around the world have begun to feel that Charizard has unlimited advantages. However, the elite champions don't think so. On the surface, Charizard does have an advantage now. In reality, how many times has Charizard performed a move? Flamethrower, Fire Spin, all-round Heat Wave. In addition, he was hit by Articuno's skills 3 times. Even if it is twice as resistant, it is not completely harmless. Just look at Charizard in the current video, he is already out of breath. On the other hand, Articuno was hit by so many moves, and there were also many that were twice as restrained. His current breathing speed is not as fast as Charizard's. This is the advantage that the legendary beast has. The legendary beasts not only have great strength, but their physical strength is also huge. At the same level, it is at least twice as powerful as a normal Pokémon. Otherwise, why would killing gods be so difficult? So people still don't understand how Pika was able to do the Ice Pillar instantly with one super move. In addition to the god's immense physical strength, Charizard's flaws also slowly became apparent. Now that he is panting like this, it has something to do with his own shortcomings. One after another, it is not Charizard who has the advantage now, but Articuno. It's time, Articuno, Water Pulse. Bah! Articuno's sharp beak opened, and the terrifying water elements gathered into a ball on it. Then it suddenly exploded. Oops, Charizard, get out of the way. Roar. Charizard flapped his wings to dodge Water Pulse. However, because he had exhausted a lot of physical strength, his movements were much slower. Direct hit by Articuno's Water Pulse. Boom, advertisement. The surging water swirled in Charizard's belly. When the little water ball collided with Charizard, it turned into a terrifying torrent. The huge water flow submerged Charizard's entire figure. Water skills, the effect is outstanding. After being hit by Water Pulse, Charizard crashed and fell to the ground hard. The situation has taken a turn for the worse. Charizard, who seemed to have the upper hand just now, was seriously injured in the blink of an eye. I knew it. How could Charizard be Articuno's rival? What a pity. Brother Xiaozhi's Charizard has already performed quite well, but rival is too strong. How can Charizard beat Articuno if he can't beat him? Gary squeezed the cup in his hand tightly and looked a little unhappy. So far, he finally saw some of the opponent's tactics. First, let Articuno constantly compete with Charizard's skills. Charizard is exhausted, but Articuno's physical strength is much stronger than Charizard's. When Charizard was very tired, he used the ultimate move of Water Pulse. Grandpa just said that in addition to being good at Ice-type, Articuno is also very good at Water-type. And Dara has been hiding this. Water Pulse is revealed at this critical moment. Settle the battle situation in one fell swoop. Xiaozhi. Don't fall down here, the only one who can defeat you, is me. Gilruda, he is a world-famous collector and has terrifying financial resources. Having collected most of the treasures in the world, he was still not satisfied, so he turned his attention to the mythical beasts. Whether it's the previous Regice, Latios, or today's Articuno. In his opinion, they are all perfect collections. What a beautiful and touching collection, just wait, it won't take long before you will be my prize. Charizard. Under Xiaozhi's shouts, Charizard barely supported his body. Freezing light. Get out of the way. Charizard flapped his wings and barely dodged the freezing beam, but Darla showed a smile that seemed to have succeeded in her conspiracy. Water Pulse now. Advertisement. Bah. The surging Water Pulse appears again, however, its target is not Charizard. But the frozen ground. Boom. Water Pulse hits the ice at a clever angle. Water droplets and ice fragments turned into powerful weapons and shot towards Charizard. The range is extremely broad. Even if Charizard wants to avoid it, there is no way. Combination attack of water and ice. With this move, Charizard's physical strength was reduced again. Damn it, is there anything I can do? There should be a way. Xiaozhi's face became more solemn. Charizard's strength was like a candle in the wind. And the opponent Articuno still has plenty of physical strength. Judging from the situation, he has been forced into a desperate situation. Fly Charizard. Roar. When in doubt, take off first, there's always a way in the air. Follow Articuno. Use Freeze Ray and Water Pulse again. Bah, of course. Dara couldn't let Charizard go, so he directly ordered Articuno to chase him. And he repeated his old trick by using a combination of water and ice. Charizard, use Heat Wave to deal with it. Hearing this, Charizard flapped his wings, and the scorching wind roared past. The ice fragments flying towards me were completely destroyed by the heat wave, but there were still a lot of water droplets left. The water droplets hit Charizard. It makes his already low physical strength even worse. This is the last resort. Articuno, use Steel Wing. Bah. Metallic color covers Articuno's icy blue wings. Then, he galloped towards Charizard like an arrow from a bowstring. Xiaozhi's pupils shrank, and then he shouted, "Take it next, Charizard." Charizard's eyes narrowed, and Dragon Claw stretched out when Steel Wing attacked, clamping it hard. Boom. Caught it. Chapter 40. Let you meet the invincible Seismic Toss, 4th update. Advertisement. Xiaozhi and his Charizard perform outrageous actions again. With almost half of Articuno's physical strength remaining, he caught Articuno's Steel Wing. Investigate Charizard. This is just an act. Can this continue? Is Articuno faking it or Charizard is faking it? It's okay, it's just a Steel Wing. Can Charizard make a comeback? However, Xiaozhi's subsequent actions shocked the world for a whole year. Hold on Charizard, use Seismic Toss like this. Champion World Audience. No, they heard it right, Seismic Toss. Isn't move be a fighting type move? For the flying type Articuno, the effect is weak. Shouldn't you take advantage of the moment to directly use the big text fire, or burn it out? What are the operations of using Seismic Toss? Roar. Facing the doubts of the whole world, Charizard turned around and held Articuno's wings. Embrace it in front of you and sprint upward. After idling in 3 large circles, Charizard descended rapidly again. Articuno wants to struggle, but there is no way to break free of Charizard. The current Charizard doesn't look like a candle in the wind while using Seismic Toss. The vertically descending Charizard even keeps spinning. Boom. With a roar, billowing smoke and dust erupted from the Battle Factory venue. The smoke slowly dissipated, and both parties fell to the ground at the same time. The audience was stunned. Both sides fell to the ground at the same time. Could it be a draw? A few seconds later, when the referee was about to announce the result, there was sudden movement from both sides. Charizard and Articuno supported their bodies and stood up slowly at the same time. After the two sides stood up and stared at each other for a few seconds, Articuno closed his eyes and fell down helplessly. Charizard looked up to the sky and let out a roar of victory and flames. He won. Advertisement audiences. To be honest, after experiencing the first duel between Pikachu and Regice. Theoretically, no matter how outrageous the battle happens later, they don't think they will be surprised anymore. After all, what could be more outrageous than Pikachu killing Regice instantly with a high-voltage thunder shock? But now, something outrageous has happened. That Articuno has taken so many skills, including many fire skills that are suppressed by this system. The physical strength can be retained at more than half. And now? Charizard actually used a skill that is of the flying type and is twice as resistant to the flying type, Seismic Toss. Kill Articuno, who has more than half of his health left, instantly. Isn't this more outrageous than High Voltage Thundershock? High Voltage Thundershock instantly kills Regice. At least Pikachu has a bonus of this type. If you use this Seismic Toss against Regice, will Regice owe you half his life? Bruno. Is this open? Close black lens bracket, Kearney. I think it should be open. Kato. I can't understand. Does the Seismic Toss of the fighting series have such power? Is this really not the Scissors Guillotine? Close black lens bracket. All those who spoke are fighting type specialized trainers. They really don't understand the power of Seismic Toss. Seismic Toss, it's not like their Pokémon don't know how to do it. But who would use Seismic Toss as a special move? And it was really used by him. It's really Lilyu and Shangpu. Yeah, Charizard wins. Let me tell you, you are the #1 Charizard in the world. Roar. Charizard shouted to the sky with excitement. A scorching flame spit up. It burned a hole directly through the ceiling of the living room. It's not like he can only play low-end rounds, he can also play high-end rounds. He can also become as strong as the legendary Pokémon. He can become the world's mightiest Charizard. Don't eruption, Charizard. This is not our home. Advertisement, whore. Roar. Charizard glanced at the burned-through ceiling and scratched his head in embarrassment. A little too excited. Xiaozhi, how did you come up with the idea of using Seismic Toss as your last resort? Don't you know how powerful Seismic Toss is? Bruno lives in Bungbu. As a fighting elite, he never thought Seismic Toss could be used like this. Xiaozhi himself is here, so he must know what he was thinking at the time, right? Huh? Seismic Toss is very powerful. Look, he can directly grab rival, then continuously shake rival in the air to stun him, and then unexpectedly drop him from soaring in the sky, cause horrific damage. Isn't this skill strong enough? Bruno was silent. So is this the true meaning of Seismic Toss? Take notes, take notes. Wallace. Just asking if you don't understand, isn't it said that Charizard has flaws and is much weaker than normal Charizard? Close black lens bracket. Wallace. And the Tiandao inventory has completely eliminated this issue. In the future, it should be difficult for Charizard to become stronger. Why was Charizard so strong in the battle just now? I feel like Day's Charizard is nothing more than that, right? Close black lens bracket. Day. What is this? Close black lens bracket. Wallace did not follow Steven to Kanto. So I can only express my confusion on the barrage. Just now those fire experts swore and said frankly that Xiaozhi's Charizard is limited to this. As a result, he was slapped in the face in the blink of an eye. Yulongdu. Maybe. This is Xiaozhi's magical power again. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. Ha ha ha. The bond between people and Pokémon is the greatest miracle that can make the impossible possible. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. I think so too. I originally thought it was Pikachu's unique power, but now it seems that other Pokémon and Xiaozhi also have that magical power. Close black lens bracket. The last move, Seismic Toss, is too powerful no matter how you explain it. No matter how you think about it, there is only one reason. That is the bond between Xiaozhi and Charizard, and the power of the moves has been enhanced again. Just like Pikachu's High Voltage Thundershock normal. Chapter 41. Reward, Rainbow Wing, 5th update. Advertisement. Xiaozhi won all 3 battles, and it was a huge hit every time. All the gamblers in the world have lost money, forget the first 2 games. Tiandao's inventory has been preparing for this scene for so long, telling everyone how weak Charizard is. He even personally hammered out Charizard's flaws. It is said that it is difficult to reach the level of elite champion. Is that Articuno definitely elite or above? Can you win this? This time Tiandao became so cruel that he even slapped himself in the face. I originally thought this was a battle without suspense, but in fact. I'm so stupid. Really, why don't I believe Brother Xiaozhi? Damn it. The opportunity to get rich overnight was placed in front of me, but I didn't cherish it. If encore, I will definitely search Brother Xiaozhi. Haha, I told you to believe Brother Xiaozhi. Hey, how are you going to spend these 4,500 betting points? You can't spend them all. You can't spend them all. After a series of games, everyone finally knew what Tiandao Inventory's routine was. It creates an atmosphere that Xiaozhi cannot win the game every time. Let them bet on the other side. The main thing is that they still have to eat this trap. Pikachu, the bad street electric rat, who would have thought he could beat Regice. Okay, he won later, when everyone was ready to believe him. Tiandao Inventory directly released a special inventory to tell the world that this Pikachu is an actor. During the second round of counting, no one dared to press again. After experiencing 2 divine battles, everyone was ready to believe Pikachu. As a result, the protagonist changed this time. And Tiandao Inventory continues to foreshadow how weak this new protagonist is. He was beaten in the Charizard Valley and was unable to fight back. Most people searched for Articuno again. We lost again. Are you going to play or not? You can say that the inventory of heaven and earth is deceptive. It just lays out the facts. Judging from the previous images alone, Charizard and Articuno are the best. Who can take into account Charizard's growth, the bond between him and Xiaozhi, etc.? Advertisement. This is just pure conspiracy. Professor Oak, didn't someone just say that it would be difficult for Charizard to win against Articuno? Close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. Sorry, I don't understand Charizard. Close black lens bracket. Day. Sorry, I don't understand Charizard. Close black lens bracket. Lorelei. Sorry, I don't understand Articuno. Close black lens bracket. It's not that we are incompetent, it's that the place is too scary. I originally thought that the other party might disappear in the Charizard Valley. However, in his weak form, he truly became the powerful Charizard. Although it is still not the best in the world, but is it okay to say that it surpasses more than 95% of Charizard in the world? Gary regained his composure and took a leisurely sip of tea. Although Xiaozhi is handicapped, he will not let him down. Hey, I got another 75,000 points without any surprises. Yeah, the little devil's Charizard has won again, meow. It's a good thing to get points, but why do we have to play the video of us being beaten every time we take stock? James complained with some dissatisfaction. It's really embarrassing to be knocked away again and again. Why do you care so much? Just win. Now we have to use the points given to us by Xiao Guido to build a robot that can capture Pikachu. You're right, NYA. Let's use the reward that Little Ghost 2 got to help us catch Little Ghost 2's Pikachu. Are you going to capture Charizard? Absolutely not, meow. Charizard is still very weak right now. It won't be too late to catch him after he comes back from Charizard Valley. That's right. The Rockets trio began their daily daydreaming. Giovanni stroked Persian's fur, his eyes thoughtful. Everyone else is watching this boy named Xiaozhi defeat the legend every time. But his observation point is unreasonable. A legendary Pokémon that is rare for ordinary people to see, but this boy has encountered it time and time again. Advertisement. Although they are all mythical beasts with owners, we cannot deny the specialness of this young man. It's kind of interesting. An evil smile just appeared on Giovanni's face. As a result, the new words that appeared on the screen and the ethereal sound that appeared in the void made his face freeze instantly. Charizard vs Articuno. Charizard wins. Close black lens bracket. Deduct competitive points from everyone who bet on Articuno's victory. MMP. Lost everything again. I'm so envious. Xiaozhi has 45W competitive points now, right? Bruno smacked his lips and said enviously, he doesn't have a single point now. I can only drool looking at the fitness equipment in the Tiandao store. Haha, this is all thanks to everyone. Everyone, of course I am referring to Pikachu and Charizard. Pikapi. Roar. The rewards for betting points will come soon. Cynthia got 4,500 points, Dandy and Alder are 75,000 points. Xiaozhi 450,000, Misty and Xiaobing 300,000. The points of the three of them have exceeded 1 million. It's a pity that points cannot be traded. Wait for me, Charizard. I'll see what's in the store right now to fix your flaws. Xiaozhi said, clicking on the Tiandao store and starting to search. 450,000 points is not a small amount, either. If you search carefully in the store, you might be able to help Charizard fix the defect directly. At this moment, the sound of Tiandao's inventory sounded. The winner Charizard can get additional rewards from Tiandao inventory, close black lens bracket. Reward Charizard exclusive props. Rainbow Light Feather, non-droppable version, Charizard Valley Training Secrets, close black lens bracket. Rainbow Wing, non-droppable version. Ho-Oh's Natal Feather, which cannot be removed after Charizard carries it, increases fire damage by 30%, slowly repairs Charizard's injured foundation, and restores 8 points every once in a while during battle. One of the physical strength, gives Charizard a chance to learn the exclusive skill, Sacred Fire, close black lens bracket. Note. As Charizard's foundation is repaired, the Rainbow Feather will slowly merge with Charizard. When the foundation repair is completed, the Rainbow Feather will completely disappear. By then, if you cannot comprehend Sacred Fire, you will no longer be able to comprehend it, and the remaining special effects will be retained, close black lens bracket. Chapter 42. Special Inventory Returns, Diantha's Dark History, First Update. Advertisement silent. Everyone in the world was silent. What kind of perverted carrying prop is this? Is every hair of Ho-Oh so powerful? Oh, this is my natal hair, but my natal feathers are also ridiculous. And it says, exclusively for Charizard, it can't even be removed from Charizard. This has caused some evil villain groups to give up the idea of robbing in the past. To put it another way, even if it is really possible to rob, why don't you look at who is there at Kanto now? Champion trainer of each region, plus Kanto Elite 4. How many lives? Dare you rob now? At the same time, from a certain house at the Indigo Plateau Conference, a 9-colored rainbow light fell from the sky. Directly poured into the Charizard inside the house. Xiaozhi and others were so frightened that they immediately backed away. When they reacted, they understood instantly. This is the reward given to Charizard by Tiandao inventory. Okay Xiaozhi. The rewards this time are not only more than the previous two, but they are also quite practical. Dandy patted Xiaozhi's keyboard with his big hand and grinned. Even if Charizard's own foundation is damaged, he can defeat Articuno after practicing in Charizard Valley. Now get Rainbow Wing to fix bugs. There's even a Charizard Valley workout. This is nothing short of a timely help for Charizard. He is also even more powerful for the future. To be honest, even if Charizard defeated Articuno, there is still a long way to go before Charizard wants to challenge him. After all, although that Articuno is a legendary beast. But it's not too strong, and his Charizard can easily defeat it even if it doesn't go to Gigantamax. Therefore, Charizard's strength after returning from training is still far from his. But things are different now. After obtaining the Feather of Rainbow Light, Charizard's future will definitely be bright. It is no longer impossible to become the world's mightiest Charizard. Yeah, why does it feel like Charizard got more rewards this time than Pikachu combined? Diantha was a little confused. Is this heavenly inventory a reward based on mood? Is there a possibility that Tiandao inventory feels that it will be more difficult for Charizard to defeat Articuno than for Pikachu to defeat Regice and Latios? Champions. What you said seems to make sense. Advertisement. So, what kind of deformity is that Pikachu? It actually makes Tiandao inventory think that it is easier for Pikachu to defeat Regice and other divine beasts than for Charizard to defeat divine beasts? Buzz. During the discussion, the rainbow light slowly dissipated, and the brand new Charizard appeared in front of the champions. After receiving the Feather of Rainbow Light, Charizard's body has grown visibly to the naked eye. Although it has not reached the level of normal Charizard, it is much better than before. Roar. Pikachu. Charizard looked up to the sky and roared, spitting red flames from his mouth. When Pikachu saw this, he immediately used Thunderbolt. Intercepted the flames spit out by Charizard. If this flame were to burn the ceiling again, it would not be as simple as being scorched black. I'm afraid this house could burn down, Charizard, so don't eruption here. Roar. Charizard scratched his face with his claws, but because his strength had greatly increased, he couldn't hold it back anymore. Awesome Pikachu, you predicted this. Cynthia knelt down and touched Pikachu's head. Pikachu looked like he was enjoying himself. Sister Baisai is still very good at Pokemon Affinity, no worse than Alchemy Emperor. Charizard, have you become stronger? Roar. Charizard gave a thumbs up, saying that he is very strong now. Winning the Quartz Conference champion is a piece of cake. Haha, with Charizard and Pikachu here, I will definitely win the Indigo Plateau Conference championship this time. Even though I know I can't be shy in front of a champion. But thinking of the power of these two generals, Xiaozhi couldn't help but dance. Misty looked at Xiaozhi and shook her head. He's still a kid after all. That Charmander can actually defeat Articuno? Damien, who was at the police station, stared blankly at the picture of Charizard spitting fire from his mouth after his victory. Advertisement: he actually abandoned such a Charizard with his own hands. And Charizard's basic damage is also due to him. If he didn't abandon Charmander, then Charizard might not have damaged his foundation. If he trains her again, it will definitely be more than this. Damn it. Damn it. If you have such strong strength, wouldn't it be great if you showed it earlier? Why can't even Poliwag win? Damn it. Haha. So what if we beat Articuno? With your foundation damaged, how many times can you still fight like this? You will only be a waste after all. What you don't get is like destroying it. I'm talking about scumbags like Damien. Even though he was taken to the police station and prepared to go to jail, he did not repent at all. Put all the blame on Charizard. Just when Damien showed a perverted smile, the rewards from Tiandao's inventory were listed on the screen. His smile suddenly stiffened. Repair, the foundation. The last weak point he could use to attack Charizard was gone. In the future, he will probably spend his whole life in prison with endless regret and hatred. Rainbow Wing. It's a pity that that thing is bound to Charizard, otherwise. Giovanni narrowed his eyes slightly, thoughtfully. Even one of Ho-Oh's feathers is so terrifying. What if Ho-Oh can be captured? It's a pity that now Ho-Oh Shenlong can't be seen at all. The Rockets have no chance of catching him. The third divine battle is over. During this period, a special inventory will be played. Please stay tuned. About 5 minutes after the count ended, the ethereal voice sounded again. This time is another special inventory. Everyone in the world is also very excited. In addition to the battle between gods, the special inventory is actually quite interesting. Could it be that Charizard, who defeated Articuno this time, would also be defeated by a newbie Pokemon? I'm really looking forward to what this special inventory will be. Diantha said with a smile, secretly making up her mind. If there are still questions to answer, I must avenge my shame this time. Special inventory. Diantha's dark history. As soon as the voice came out, Diantha's originally smiling face instantly fell down. She was so stubborn. Aimed at me, right? Chapter 43. Let you see what Mega Real Rookie is. Advertisement. Can a champion also have a dark history? Of course. For example, although Dragon Messenger is called Dragon Messenger. But the Pokemon in his hand, Gyarados, Dragonite, Charizard, Aerodactyl, etc. Except for Dragonite, The remaining Pokémon are all flying type. Therefore, many people outside jokingly call him the champion of the flying series. Of course, they would definitely not dare to say it in front of Lance. Otherwise Lance could tear them alive, and Diantha. To be honest, Diantha couldn't think of any dark history she had before. But this is no reason for her to relax. She had no dark history in the past, but what about the future? This Tiandao inventory is the king of time who can know the past and the future. No. She can't stop her from doing stupid things in the future. Alas. I can only resign myself to fate. Ahem, my condolences. Lance has the professional qualities of a champion. In serious situations, he will never laugh. Unless you can't help it, ha 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 ha. Finally, there is a champion with the same dark history as me. Let's see who dares to catch me as a flying master in the future. Miss Diantha is so beautiful and generous, what kind of dark history does she have? Misty looked at the big screen curiously. Suck, I'm also quite curious. I've known Diantha for so long, and I don't even know what kind of dark history Diantha has. Cynthia was holding an ice cream sundae in her hand and slowly sucked it with a small pink lick. This is the legendary original sundae ice cream made from century-old ice. At least that's what it says on the inventory store. The price is not very expensive, just 10 betting points. For Cynthia, a loyal ice cream lover, this is a great value for money. I changed one on the spot and took it out to eat. I just made a lot of betting points. I don't have a dark history, at least not before. Diantha added without confidence. The video had already started playing on the big screen. The scene begins in a forest. Advertisement. The first one to appear was a frog Pokémon with a blue body and a scarf-like neck around its neck. Professor Baradano. Oh. This is Greninja, one of the 3 royal families of the Kalos region who appeared. Close black lens bracket. Wickstrom. It makes sense, Diantha is the champion of Kalos, and black history is normal in Kalos. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. If you slander me, I will kill you Wickstrom. Wickstrom, one of the Kalos Elite 4, once competed with Diantha for the championship. Suppressed by Diantha's Gardevoir. Although there is no hatred, it is normal to hurt each other. In the picture, in addition to Greninja, another figure also showed his true identity. The red and white hat, the blue short-sleeved jacket, those familiar faces, who else could it be besides Xiaozhi? No sir, why is Brother G here again? No matter what the inventory is, Brother Xiaozhi will always show up. Diantha's dark history won't be related to Brother Xiaozhi, right? Who knows, keep watching. In the screen, start special training Greninja. Knock. First through this forest. Knock. The audience didn't pay much attention to the special training Xiaozhi mentioned at first. It's probably like walking in the forest to increase your physical strength. As a result, Xiaozhi's subsequent actions made them smile from ear to ear in surprise. I saw Xiaozhi and Greninja doing almost the same movements and then started running fast. During this period, Xiaozhi constantly adjusted himself and tried to make his movements consistent with Greninja's. One person and one frog kept dodging one tree after another. As the audience watched, they gradually felt that something was wrong. Why can Xiaozhi be able to keep up with Greninja's movements? Judging from the trees that kept flashing by, their speed was already very fast. Can Xiaozhi keep up with this? Then, Greninja seemed to feel that this difficulty was no longer enough. The figure surged and began to jump to the tree, jumping non-stop. Advertisement: every tree here is 2 to 3 meters high. Okay, I'll come too. World audience. No way? You don't really want to perform that, do you? Hey. Xiaozhi bent his legs and then climbed hard. The whole person jumped directly onto a tree several meters high. Then, like Greninja, it jumped flexibly among the trees. Although it accidentally fell off once during the period, Xiaozhi quickly adjusted the contest condition. Keep wandering in the woods. Is this a human being? I saw early on that Brother Xiaozhi is not a human. This is a Pokémon in human skin. Actually, I had expected it. In the first scene where Brother Xiaozhi was guarding Pikachu, he climbed over mountains and ridges. It didn't look like the physical strength that a child could show at all. Xiaozhi. Accept me as your disciple. Bruno raised his hand to Xiaozhi and immediately stopped Xiaozhi. What? What's going on? Haha, don't worry, this idiot is just joking. Lorelei smiled and slapped Bruno. You scared Xiaozhi. No, he is the one who scared me. Look at the action in the picture, is it something a normal person can do? Bruno waved his hand repeatedly, pointing at Xiaozhi who was still wandering in the screen. I once wanted to accept Xiaozhi as my disciple. It's me who has become a disciple. It doesn't matter if he is a master or a disciple. The main thing is that I want to learn this. Xiaozhi looked embarrassed. Well, Master Bruno, even if you say so, I can't do that kind of action now. Look carefully at Xiaozhi's face on the screen. Cynthia had finished her sundae and was sitting on the sofa with her arms folded, watching the screen attentively. The Xiaozhi on the screen should have been traveling for several years now, right? At least he is much more mature than when he played against Brandon before, or even when he was in the Lily of the Valley conference. I predict that he is about 13 to 14 years old now. Xiaozhi, who just started traveling, can climb mountains and ridges. It's not surprising that Xiaozhi on the screen makes such moves. After looking at Cynthia's body shape, everyone discovered that Xiaozhi on the screen seemed to be really mature. After a scene, Xiaozhi and Greninja finally came out of the forest. Then, 3 figures appeared in front of them, 2 women and 1 man, one of whom was a little Stephanie. Chapter 44. Serena, did I travel with Xiaozhi? Advertisement? Kalos region, Vaneville town. A girl with long flaxen hair and a beautiful face looked at the picture on the screen intently. The girl's name is Serena and she has not traveled yet. She will be able to travel next year, but for some reason, she doesn't want to. The setting here is that Samei is older than Xiaozhi Arnold. However, after Tiandao took stock, she changed her previous mind. And all of this is because of the young man on the screen. As a child, Serena went to Kanto to attend summer camp there. After some minor accidents, she got lost. Just when she was at a loss and feeling desperate, a little boy appeared in front of him. That person is Xiaozhi. Xiaozhi not only bandaged her wounds, but also brought her back to the camp. His cheerful smile was also deeply engraved in her heart. Since then, Xiaozhi has become the object of her admiration. Even after many years of separation, she has never forgotten Xiaozhi. However, she never expected that when she saw Xiaozhi again, it would be on a magical screen. Not only that, now, even she herself appears on the screen. Although her appearance has become more mature and her hair has been changed to short hair, there is no doubt that it is her. In the future, will I also go on a trip with Xiaozhi? In the image, Xiaozhi was so exhausted from chasing Greninja that he fell to the ground. Upon seeing this, Serena trotted up and handed a pink water glass in her hand to Xiaozhi. Serena in Vaneville town is getting ready to drink water. When I saw the picture on the screen, I almost spit out the water. Isn't the glass of water she is handing to Xiaozhi the one she is drinking from right now? What the hell? What was the relationship between her and Xiaozhi at that time? Advertisement so close. Small details.jpg. Xiaozhi's unceremonious result was that Serena drank all the water in one gulp. Serena's head is about to smoke as she watches. Fortunately her mother is not here. Brother, that's us, are we traveling with Xiaozhi too? In the Lumiose gym in Lumiose City, little Stephanie, who had yellow hair tied into a ponytail, kept pulling on the yellow-haired boy next to her, shouting loudly. The yellow-haired boy raised his eyes, and the mirror code emitted a white arc of light. It seems that we will travel with Xiaozhi in the future. Traveling with that magical boy is quite exciting. The yellow-haired boy is the leader of Lumiose gym. Clement, hobby is inventing machines. And that little Stephanie is his sister, Ulija. In the image, after Xiaozhi drank the water, he chatted with the 3 of them, but the content of the chat was a bit confusing. What Greninja's power? What controls that power? Is there anything different about Greninja? Not long after, the protagonist of this video appeared. The screen turned to sky, and a helicopter came from a distance and stopped steadily at Xiaozhi's sky. Then, when the helicopter was still nearly 10 meters away from the ground, a figure on the helicopter jumped out. She held a rope in her hand and rushed down. When she was approaching the ground, she let go instantly and landed steadily on her white marten boots. The person coming is none other than the champion of Kalos, Diantha. Steven. Wonderful. Close black lens bracket open black lens bracket Drasna. Miss Diantha is still so messy, close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Don't mind it, everyone, you're used to it, close black lens bracket. Dandy. This skill is not much worse than Xiaozhi's, close black lens bracket. Advertisement, Wickstrom. This time I believe you can beat me to death with your bare hands, close black lens bracket. Don't stop me, I'm going to kill that guy. Diantha is furious. What does he mean? Does he mean I'm violent? Is there anyone who talks to a lady like that? Okay, calm down, even if you want to kill her, you have to wait until you get back to Kalos. As Diantha's best friend, Cynthia kindly dissuaded her. Wickstrom. I thank you. After Diantha came down, she and Xiaozhi chatted for a while. Then after Diantha learned that Xiaozhi's Greninja had a strange situation, Diantha expressed that she wanted to fight Xiaozhi. The picture stopped here, and then lines of subtitles appeared on the screen. Special inventory. Diantha's dark history. In order to learn the truth about Xiaozhi Greninja's special transformation, Diantha proposed a duel with Xiaozhi, but Xiaozhi's Greninja was conquered only after coming to the Kalos region, and the evolution time was less than half a month, close black lens bracket. But in order to test Xiaozhi, Diantha is planning to use her own trump card Pokémon, the champion-level Gardevoir, close black lens bracket. So who will win in this battle? Close black lens bracket. There are no questions and guesses in this special counting game. Whoever wins the 2 contestants will get the reward, close black lens bracket. After seeing the subtitles, the first people to react were the champions. Yu Longdu. I understand, it turns out that the dark history is that Diantha bullied the small. Against a Greninja that has just evolved, you actually have to use trump card Gardevoir. Tisk tisk, I wouldn't be able to do it if it were me. Close black lens bracket. Brandon. We are not alone. Don't say the Diantha champion. The Diantha champion just won't hold back when facing any rival. Just like me. Close black lens bracket. If this can be considered a dark history, then Brandon's use of the ice pillar to fight Pikachu is also one of the dark histories. At this time, he naturally stood decisively on Diantha's side. What is black history called fighting with all your strength? This is the dignity that belongs to the strong, do you understand? Bruno. Brandon seems to have found his team. Close black lens bracket, Alder. Ha ha ha, although that is true, I feel that Shotaro is too pitiful, whether it is using Pikachu to fight against the Ice God pillar, or Greninja, who has just evolved, against Gardevoir. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. I am just testing Xiaozhi, do you understand the test? What kind of black history is this? Close black lens bracket. Diantha breathed a sigh of relief after posting the barrage. For her, this is really not a dark history. After all, the preface comes first. She just wants to try the power of Xiaozhi's Greninja. How can this be considered black history? Chapter 45. How can the champion Gardevoir lose when he beats the newly minted ninja? 4th update. Advertisement. This is the dark history we have been waiting for a long time. This is a bit disappointing. Hey, I still hope that Ms. Diantha's photos will be leaked or something. The sigh of a group of LSPS. If you just look at the description of the Tiandao inventory, this is indeed not a dark history. After all, although Diantha was suspected of bullying the younger ones, it was just a test after all. It's not like I'm really fighting Xiaozhi. As for victory or defeat, got messed with. The champion Gardevoir beat the newly debuted Greninja, and the flying dragon rode in the face. How could he lose? Even if Xiaozhi has a special ability, he can make Pokémon explode. But that also requires Pokémon to have enough background, right? For example, the previous Pikachu had obviously experienced a lot of battles. Of course, that Pikachu is indeed special. But then Charizard isn't special, right? Without sufficient training, even under Xiaozhi's command, there is no way he can defeat any Charizard in the Charizard Valley. This is enough to show that the bond between Xiaozhi and Pokémon does not work all the time. At least the Pokémon must have the foundation to carry that effect. You used 1 point of combat power to show 3 points and they tolerated it. Using your 0.1 combat power at 3 points is too much. Dandy. Hey, let's see how much Xiaozhi's trainer level can improve after a long journey, right? In the past, Xiaozhi basically relied on accidents to fight. I wonder what the grown-up Xiaozhi will look like on the screen now. Yulongdu. Tisk, that's the only way it can be. Why did Tiandao's inventory take stock of such dark history? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Oh, flying champion Mr. Lance, you seem to be dissatisfied with Tiandao for not exposing more of my dark history? Close black lens bracket. Yulongdu. Who are you talking about as the champion of the flying series? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Whoever answers is the one I'm talking about. The smell of gunpowder in the barrage list is getting stronger. But the two people at the scene were actually fine. Diantha, in particular, is in a lighter mood now. Is Tiandao inventory looking down on her too much? Can this thing be used as a piece of black history? Unless Xiaozhi can use that Greninja to suppress her and hit her. Otherwise, what kind of black history is this? As for the possibility of the thing mentioned above happening, it is even smaller than the possibility of Pikachu defeating Regice. Advertisement. You Greninja has only evolved for a few days, how can you beat her champion Gardevoir? Steven. It's a pity that there is no guessing. If there were, we could get a wave of guaranteed winning points. Close black lens bracket. Wallace. Don't worry about your broken points. Even if there is a bet, 99% of the people in the world will definitely choose Miss Diantha to win. Even if you beat Miss Diantha, how many 300 points can you get? 3 o'clock, close black lens bracket? Steven. It seems to make sense. Close black lens bracket. After being taught by Wallace, Steven suddenly came to his senses. Yes, so what if there is a 99% chance of winning? How long will it take for him to earn enough points to buy stones with these 300 points? In this case, the score is in reverse, and the villa is close to the sea. Next time, choose the one with higher odds. Wallace opens up a new world for Steven. After a few minutes, the subtitles on the screen disappeared and the images on the screen officially started playing. Xiaozhi and Diantha stood on a plane, facing each other. Apparently some time has passed at this point, and it seems that Xiaozhi has recovered for Greninja. After all, Greninja and Xiaozhi just had a physical walking race. It's up to you Greninja. Knock, the handsome Greninja is on the plains. Make the Ren character seal with one hand. Dance, Gardevoir, Sana. After Gardevoir appeared on the plane, he raised his skirt slightly and bowed politely. If Greninja is a handsome ninja, then Gardevoir is an elegant lady. Then we'll take the initiative without mercy. Xiaozhi waved his palm and shouted to Greninja. Greninja, cut. Knock, a white dagger with condensed energy appeared in Greninja's hand, and then it suddenly kicked out. As Greninja moved, smoke and dust filled the field, showing how powerful Greninja used it. However, Diantha just moved her eyes slightly, and Gardevoir completely understood what Diantha meant. Advertisement facing the speeding Greninja, Gardevoir just turned sideways. Just dodge Greninja's attack. Xiaozhi frowned and continued to shout loudly. Continue the attack, water shuriken. Knock. Greninja rolled a few times to get away, then slapped his thighs with both hands. 4 shurikens composed of water elements appeared instantly. Greninja then fired out the water shuriken with a special first move, seal all escape routes to Gardevoir. 4 shuriken rapid spin, surging water surges above it. Coupled with the force of its rotation, even metal can be cut in half. However, even in the face of such a powerful attack, Gardevoir and Diantha remained calm. With just one look, Gardevoir received Diantha's instructions again. The figure flashed continuously, and the shurikens that seemed to have blocked all escape routes for Gardevoir were directly dodged by her. Damn it. In that case, use continuous cut, knock. The white light blade reappeared in Greninja's hand. Then he kept slashing at Gardevoir. Facing Greninja's fierce attack, Gardevoir seemed very relaxed and content. Only with the smallest movements, he easily dodged Greninja's laborious attack. Night Slash. Greninja's eyes narrowed, and the white light blade disappeared. Instead, a ball of black energy covered its hand. Night Slash hits Gardevoir's vitals, however, Gardevoir easily dodged it with a teleport. The reaction power and speed of both sides are not at the same level at all. Hey, even brother Xiaozhi can't do anything about this situation. Yes. Gardevoir is so shameless. How can you call me a scumbag? This is just a pure level gap. Okay. It seems that brother Xiaozhi is going to suffer a disastrous defeat this time. Most people in the world are not optimistic that Xiaozhi can win. Chapter 46. The champion's terrifying suppression makes it impossible to win. 5th update. Advertisement. Most people in the world do not expect Xiaozhi to win. This is also a matter of course. The most surprising thing about Xiaozhi's previous Pokémon, such as Charizard and Pikachu, is their stats. When they fought against the mythical beast, even though there was a big gap at the beginning. But relying on the temporary burst of power through the bond with Xiaozhi can make up for this gap. And now Greninja. Even if she explodes, she can't win, right? Again, the difference between 1 and 3 is not comparable to the difference between 0.1 and 3. Greninja and Gardevoir are so different, even Xiaozhi's special ability can't make up for this gap. Can this be considered the champion's dark history? This is Xiaozhi's dark history, right? Gary looked at Greninja, who was being beaten and pressed in the screen with a strange look on his face. Just this aura, this demeanor, this level of coolness. Once released, it will definitely increase Diantha's fans. Where's the black history? Xiaozhi, Diantha hesitated to speak and looked worried about Xiaozhi. After all, Xiaozhi's performance on the screen is not very good. He is being beaten and suppressed all the time. It can be said that he has no power to fight back. Of course, although she was worried about Xiaozhi on the surface, Diantha was actually secretly happy. This inventory system probably doesn't know what black history is, right? Not only can I get rewards for this inventory, but I can even directly gain fans. A win-win situation. I just feel wronged, Xiaozhi. It's okay, Miss Diantha, failure is to meet better success. Xiaozhi is not discouraged at all. One failure cannot defeat him. It would be better to say that before this fateful reckoning came, he had already experienced countless failures. On the contrary, success is very rare. And, if it's me and Greninja, there will always be something we can do, right? When talking about his Pokémon, Xiaozhi's eyes always sparkle. Even if he hasn't seen Greninja now, when he saw him for the first time. Xiaozhi fell in love with him deeply. Ninja Pokémon and stuff. That's really cool, isn't it? It's also good to have confidence. Emperor Dan encouraged Xiaozhi. Advertisement. As for the result of this battle, he naturally prefers that Diantha will win. After all, the gap between the two sides is so big. But is here. However, Xiaozhi always uses unexpected tactics and shows shocking power. Presumably this time will be no exception. For example, the reason why Diantha fights Xiaozhi this time. Isn't the fundamental reason for their fight just that Xiaozhi's Greninja is special? At least until now, that Greninja hasn't shown anything special. In other words, this is not Greninja's full strength. Xiaozhi, will a miracle happen to you again? In the image, Greninja attacks again, but still has no effect. Diantha frowned and thought to herself. Although this Greninja breeder is good, it's just that. I don't see anything special. Let's try attacking it and see. Gardevoir, Shadow Ball. Sauna. Gardevoir put his hands on his chest, and the dark shadow ball quickly condensed into shape, and then flew out like a cannonball. Upon seeing this, Xiaozhi quickly asked Greninja to use Double Team to dodge. Several Greninja figures appeared on the field, and Shadow Ball only destroyed one of them. Before Xiaozhi could be happy, Diantha continued to give orders. Destroy all the shadow clones. Sauna. In an instant, 7 or 8 small shadow balls were fired at the same time, and all Greninja on the field were attacked at the same time. Greninja's true form was also attacked, flying directly backwards several meters away. Fortunately, Greninja survived because of the scattering of shadow balls. Moonblast. Moonblast, Sauna. Gardevoir's whole body was wrapped in light, and stars fell down, condensing a huge pink energy ball on his chest. After a brief stockpile, Moonblast blasts out. Faced with sparks moonburst coming like stone fire, Xiaozhi quickly asked Greninja to get out of the way. Greninja's movements were considered swift, and she barely dodged the moonblast. However, the aftermath of a moonburst attack on the ground is not weak either. Advertisement Greninja didn't completely dodge and was hit by the aftermath attack. Directly fly dozens of meters away, hit a tree. The difference is huge. The aftermath of the explosion was so terrifying that champion Diantha almost killed Greninja in one shot. Brother Xiaozhi can win this battle. The audience shook their heads and sighed. Even Xiaozhi, who has repeatedly achieved miracles. He has no ability to fight back in front of the Diantha champion. This is the power of a champion, it's completely different from the previous rival. Greninja is not far away from a crushing defeat. This series of fairy restraint skills will cause a lot of damage to Greninja even if it is the aftermath. Greninja, are you okay? Knock. Knock. Greninja barely managed to stand up, and there were already many wounds on her body. Miss Diantha is really difficult to deal with. I have an idea. Kinga. After a while, Xiaozhi and Greninja regained their strength. Diantha was a little disappointed at this time. Greninja still hasn't shown anything special so far. I'm afraid the changes they talk about are just hallucinations. Greninja, water shuriken. Knock. Several rapid spin shurikens rushed from the sky. It was still just a look, but Gardevoir understood it and moved his body. He dodged the shuriken in an instant, but the shuriken hit the ground and caused a burst of white smoke. At this moment, another shuriken came through the air. Gardevoir was visibly stunned for a moment, and then he barely ducked out of the way, but... Cut. Knock. The blue figure broke through the smoke, and the white light blade cut through the sky, hitting Gardevoir's body hard. A powerful cut move directly sent Gardevoir flying backwards. The attack. It worked. Chapter 47. At this moment, the bond turns into strength. This is our best effort. First update. Advertisement. You've been tricked, Gardevoir. Sauna. At this moment, Gardevoir managed to stabilize his body after a somersault and landed smoothly. First, use a water shuriken to raise smoke, and then use a shuriken to block the movement. Finally, Greninja launched a melee attack on Gardevoir who could not avoid it. I have to say that Xiaozhi performed well with this set of combos. Unfortunately, that's all. That move cut looks pretty powerful. But after all, it's just a small skill, and it didn't cause any damage to Gardevoir. Moreover, Xiaozhi's routine cannot be used a second time. Is it true that the champion is a vegetarian? Therefore, Xiaozhi is still at an overwhelming disadvantage and has no chance of winning. Just when everyone in the world was thinking this, Xiaozhi in the image suddenly seemed to have changed into a normal person. That's it Greninja. Knock. Cut. Continuous cut slashed out again, this time Greninja seemed to be faster. Xiaozhi's special ability is here. When you connect with a Pokémon, it will increase its power. However, this is also expected by many champions. After the upgrade, Greninja still couldn't touch the hem of Gardevoir's skirt. Everything is over. We can still get stronger, stronger, come on Greninja. Knock. Boom. As Xiaozhi shouted, a violent waterspout rose into the sky and surrounded Greninja's entire body. Greninja in the water suddenly changed. Red patterns suddenly appeared on the head, and something similar to black hair normal appeared on both sides. Just like Xiaozhi normal with a red hat, at this moment, the bond turns into strength. Advertisement, what the hell is this? It's unethical. New skills? Can new skills also change the appearance? Everyone in the world is extremely shocked, just because Xiaozhi's Greninja suddenly changed his appearance. The whole body is wrapped in a waterspout, so handsome. But, how did this change? Steven. Pat Wallace, please ask the next water champion to answer this for us. Close black lens bracket. Wallace. I don't know. I've never seen Greninja like this. Close black lens bracket. Bruno. Did Xiaozhi gain any special abilities during his journey? Close black lens bracket. Dandy. It shouldn't be Xiaozhi, but Xiaozhi and Greninja. Didn't you notice the reason why Diantha and Xiaozhi fought at the beginning? It's because Xiaozhi's Greninja has a special change. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. What a magical change. Greninja's entire Pokemon's appearance has changed, and a surging waterspout is surrounding it. Such Greninja is unheard of. Close black lens bracket. The champion of Kalos has never heard of it, and the rest of the people don't even know about it. At this moment, they can only continue to watch. This is Miss Diantha. This is what Greninja and I are doing. Xiaozhi seemed a little excited at this time, whenever he and Greninja entered this contest condition. He will feel that he has endless power, and I feel as if I and Greninja have entered a synchronized contest condition. I see. Is this what Greninja has changed in recent times? Then let me see your new power, Xiaozhi. Okay. Greninja. Cut. Xiaozhi made the same move as Greninja, touching the ground with one hand, and then rushed out like a thunder. White light blades appeared in Greninja's hands, and the next moment he was in front of Gardevoir. Shadow Ball. Sauna. Gardevoir only had time to condense the Shadow Ball into a prototype. Greninja is already here, double cut swung out hard. Boom! The two skills collided, and a huge explosion instantly ejected Gardevoir. His feet rubbed against the ground for several meters before slowly stopping. On the other hand, Greninja only retreated a little and was not affected at all. With this move, Greninja has the upper hand. Advertisement. What a surprising change. Even Gardevoir won't feel uncomfortable if he takes this trick. There were some beads of sweat on Diantha's forehead. Unexpectedly, Greninja would become so powerful after changing form. In this case, she doesn't intend to hold back. Gardevoir, continuous Shadow Ball. Sauna. Several black Shadow Balls continuously condensed from Gardevoir's hand, flying out like arrows from a string. In response, Xiaozhi chose to use Water Shuriken. Knock. Greninja's body surged, and she slapped her thighs with both hands, and the same number of Water Shurikens as the Shadow Ball shot out. All Shadow Balls were cancelled out, and due to the collision of skills, a burst of mist appeared on the field. Cut. Are we going to do the same trick again? We won't fall for the same trick a second time? Seeing Xiaozhi trying to use mist for Sucker Punch again, Diantha's eyes narrowed. The same moves never worked, however. Xiaozhi and Greninja have no such plans. I saw Greninja charging directly from the front. A white light blade instantly appeared in his right hand, slashing towards Gardevoir. Facing Greninja's fierce offensive, Gardevoir directly used Teleport to dodge. Once, twice, 3 times. The two parties seem to be dancing normal. One party is unpredictable and does not know where it will appear. The other side relies solely on reaction and speed to forcefully keep up with the opponent. As time goes by, Greninja seems to be getting faster and faster. After using Teleport for an unknown number of times, Gardevoir suddenly became dark. Greninja caught up with her teleport speed. Knock. Boom. The white light blade slashed hard on Gardevoir's body. He cut a hole directly in front of him and knocked Gardevoir dozens of meters away. One blow. A heavy blow. Chapter 48. A new evolution of the ship that the world has never seen before. Third update. Advertisement. No way. The Diantha champion was beaten while being suppressed? How? How is it possible? Xiaozhi's Greninja has just evolved. How is it possible that he can beat the champion trump card? It seems that Greninja only improved so much after being wrapped in water. What on earth is that wrapped waterspout? The audience at Kalos was in disbelief. The strongest and most beautiful champion of Kalos, the tough and invincible champion. Why was it so deflated on a Greninja that had just evolved? Unscientific. Haha, Diantha. That's all. At Team Rocket's headquarters, 4 figures appeared next to Giovanni. Archer, Ariana, Proton, Petrol. The 4 executives of the Rockets. Its combat power is almost invincible to the Elite Four. And the person who just spoke out was the only female executive among them, Ariana. For Diantha, a female champion and world-class actor. Naturally, she couldn't stand it, so she taunted him. He was beaten like this by a boy who looked to be less than 15 years old and a Greninja who had not evolved very long. What a shame. Giovanni did not respond, but looked at Greninja in the image with deep eyes. Rather than saying what skills Greninja uses, it's more like, evolving. But how is that possible? Greninja should be in her final form. Dandy. I can't understand but I'm shocked. Close black lens bracket. Steven. What is this? Has Xiaozhi's ability evolved again? Close black lens bracket. Brandon. You never know what weird moves Xiaozhi will pull out in the next second. I didn't lose unjustly. Close black lens bracket. Alder. Chitaro seems to have become one with his Greninja. Close black lens bracket. Wickstrom. Hey, is this the strength of the Kalos champion? He couldn't even defeat Greninja who had just evolved. Diantha. I definitely haven't used my full strength yet. I haven't lost yet. Wickstrom. I will definitely have you stay in the hospital for several months when you go back. Close black lens bracket. Diantha panicked. The situation on the screen changed too quickly. Just a second ago, he was still beating Greninja, almost won. Advertisement as a result. The next second, Xiaozhi and Greninja triggered a strange contest condition, directly suppressing her and beating her. As for whether she used her full strength, she herself knew this best. Greninja's current speed is countless times faster. Gardevoir's ability to restrain the opponent's moon explosion and dazzling gleam requires stockpile. It was impossible to send it out before Greninja's attack came. Psychic is ineffective against evil Greninja, in other words. Even if she doesn't use all her strength now, she's almost there. It's really yours, Tiandao inventory. It turns out that the dark history is here. The ones in the front are just side dishes, the real main course is at the back. She was a champion, and when she took out the trump card Pokémon, he couldn't beat the opponent's Greninja who had just evolved for half a month. Isn't this black history? But now is not the time to draw any conclusions, the outcome has not been decided yet. In the image, facing Greninja who had the upper hand, Diantha became ashen as water. Even if Gardevoir uses his full strength under normal conditions, is there no way he can beat Greninja in terms of overall ability value? In this case, I'm afraid it would be better to use that. Greninja, aerial ace. Knock. Greninja's hands released white light, and her entire figure became erratic. After constantly changing his shape, he finally found the opportunity and attacked Gardevoir. At this time, Gardevoir, Mega Evolution, Sauna. Diantha held the pendant around her neck and shouted loudly. There is a colored stone with genetic patterns on the pendant. When Diantha shouted Mega Evolution, the stone emitted a dazzling golden light. And the pendant inlaid with colorful patterned stones hanging on Gardevoir's chest also glowed blue. The two rays of light were linked together, and then Gardevoir was completely covered in blue light. Advertisement. The whole figure began to change. Boom. At this time Greninja's aerial ace has attacked. Gardevoir had no intention of dodging. He stretched out his hands and directly caught aerial ace. At the same time, the light on Gardevoir began to dissipate. A completely different Gardevoir appears in front of the world. The short green hair grew a little longer, and the red crystals on the chest turned into two, forming the shape of a heart. And the skirt of Gardevoir has also become more fluffy. The fierce wind whipped up by Greninja's attack caused Gardevoir's skirt to be blown back, revealing her slender white legs. This is Mega Gardevoir. Greninja, who failed to hit the target, quickly retreated and returned to Xiaozhi's side. Audiences around the world. Many professors. Champions. Diantha. What is this? What is Mega Evolution? Why can Gardevoir evolve again? Diantha. It turns out that Diantha's Gardevoir can evolve again. This is simply unheard of, and Diantha has never shown such a method. Do you want to perform unexpectedly in the 8 Masters competition? Close black lens bracket. Steven. What a beautiful figure, Mega Evolution. Did you borrow that magical stone to evolve? Close black lens bracket. Alder. What exactly is Mega Evolution? Miss Diantha, can you explain? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. I want to know too. What is that? So beautiful. My Gardevoir has turned out so beautiful. I want this. I want this evolution. Close black lens bracket. It is not difficult to feel from Diantha's words her desire for Mega Evolution, but this also means that Diantha cannot use Mega Evolution yet. However, it can be seen from the video that the future Diantha will definitely be able to learn the Mega Evolution. This Tiandao inventory really produced something amazing. If all Pokémon could get a higher level of evolution. So the changes to the world pattern are definitely not as big as normal. Chapter 49. Mega Evolution vs Bond Evolution, Novel Image. Advertisement, Gigi. Following Brother Xiaozhi's special changes, has Diantha Champion's Gardevoir also begun to change? Idiot, didn't you hear? That's called Mega Evolution. That's evolution. Evolution. Don't lie to me because I don't study well. Didn't Gardevoir finally evolve? How can he still evolve? This. I don't know either. If I knew, I would be rich now. Miss Diantha doesn't know either. It's probably something that will happen in the future. We haven't discovered it yet. Gardevoir's Mega Evolution is making waves in the world. If the inventory hadn't been played right now, all the Pokémon professors in the world would have gathered together for a meeting. No, Mega is not unknown to everyone, there is one person. Professor Oak. Professor Baratano, the Mega Evolution is probably a project you have just started recently, right? Close black lens bracket. Baratano. Yes, that's what I'm working on now. Now I haven't given a name to that magical phenomenon. So is this called Mega Evolution? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Let's talk about Mega Evolution in detail. How can I make my Gardevoir look like the one above? Close black lens bracket. Baratano. Let's wait until Mr. Xiaozhi and Ms. Diantha finish fighting. Rather than the subject I am researching, I want to see what changes have happened to Greninja. Close black lens bracket. Diantha was stunned at Baratano's words. Xiaozhi's Greninja. Logically speaking, no matter what happens, it is not as big as the fact that Pokémon is evolving to the next level. So why did Baratano focus on Xiaozhi's Greninja? Will the answer be revealed in this battle? Diantha looked at the image again. I finally let Miss Diantha use Mega to evolve. Knock. Greninja was also very excited at this time. Using Mega to evolve means that the opponent has also used his full strength. He is in this contest condition, he was able to match the full strength of a champion. Sure enough, with Xiaozhi, he was invincible. The stronger rival gets, the stronger we get, going to Greninja. Water Shuriken. Knock. The image directly switches to a close-up of Xiaozhi and Greninja, with Xiaozhi's shadow standing next to Greninja. Advertisement. One person and one frog made exactly the same movements. He squatted half-crouched, slapped his thighs with both hands, and 2 shurikens condensed out and floated in front of him. Then push it out with both hands. The shuriken shoots out normally like a cannonball. This famous scene directly made the entire audience excited. What is this? Have Brother Xiaozhi and Greninja become one? So handsome. Brother Xiaozhi seems to be much more handsome in this period. Facing the incoming shurikens, Diantha chose to use Shadow Ball to deal with it. Black's energy ball collided with the water shuriken surrounding the rapids, and there was no winner. Not enough. Get stronger. Use aerial ace. Knock. Greninja transformed into a phantom and soared into the sky. Reflective shield. Boom. A fist glowing with white light fell from the sky and hit the reflective shield hard. However, Greninja's strength was not enough to break the reflection shield after being halved. Following the reaction force, Greninja bounced back to Xiaozhi's side again. Be faster. Modo ha ya ji. Knock. Greninja touched the ground with his toes and flew out normally like an arrow from the string, and his speed increased by another level. Use double team. Brush. Greninja instantly split into a dozen clones and appeared on the field. Then keep using cut like this. Knock. Advertisement. All the clones pulled out white light blades at the same time. Gardevoir and Diantha can't tell which one is the real one. In this case, use the reflective shield again. Sauna. The huge transparent barrier unfolds. Greninja has arrived. All the clones slashed out at the same time. Bang. Click. Cut hit the reflective shield and made a loud noise. After the two sides were in a stalemate for several seconds, the reflective shield made a crisp sound of shattering. Then it exploded directly. Greninja took the opportunity to slash Gardevoir again. However, after layers of weakening, this attack still didn't cause much damage, it just knocked Gardevoir several meters away. Yulongdu. What kind of Greninja is this? Gardevoir has already mega evolved and even has halved reflexes. You can't even put down a small cut? Close black lens bracket? Dandy. The power of cut. I remember it was 40, right? Does this Greninja have a power bonus when using cut? Close black lens bracket. Alder. Haha, ninja, aerial ace, cut, shadow clone, shuriken, all are ninja's unique skills, and adding Samson makes sense, right? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. That's reasonable. I suspect Xiaozhi is cheating. This Greninja is not reasonable at all. Okay. Gardevoir was so shocking when it evolved. Why is it still lagging behind? Close black lens bracket. Brandon. Recognize the reality, Champion Diantha. When Regis was instantly killed by Pikachu with one move, I had the same thought as you. Brandon said that finally someone can feel his pain. The difference between Greninja and Pikachu is that Pikachu gets stronger bit by bit. Greninja was transformed and suddenly got enhanced. The current situation on the court is undoubtedly extremely unfavorable to Diantha. The picture shows how Xiaozhi and Greninja merge into one. They are really cool. Chapter 50. Unexpected ending. Both sides get rewards. 4th update. Advertisement in the screen. Although deflated, Diantha continued to command Gardevoir very calmly. Teleport to distance yourself, then use continuous Shadow Ball. Sauna. One of the benefits of Shadow Ball is that it doesn't require stockpile and Moonblast, despite being powerful and countering Greninja. But in the face of Greninja's speed, using Moonblast is asking for death. Faced with the Shadow Ball that came like falling rain, Xiaozhi once again issued an order that surprised everyone. Use Aerial Ace. Knock. Greninja kicked the ground with both feet and galloped out. Its feet glow white, then when the Shadow Ball arrived, he turned around and kicked the Shadow Ball away. Then he kicked out the other foot, kicking away the Shadow Ball that followed. Just like that, Greninja seems to be dancing normal. As the body dances, Shadow Balls fly into the sky one after another. Finally exploded. Both Rookie Trainer and Champion Trainer were silent when they saw this scene. That is the Shadow Ball released by Champion Gardevoir. Why don't you play Kung Fu football here? One Shadow Ball after another was kicked away by Greninja with superpower before it even had time to explode. Now Greninja's strength has suppressed the evolved champion. What kind of perverted Pokémon? After kicking away the last Shadow Ball, Greninja kicked the ground with both feet, jumped directly into the sky. Then, high in the sky, a scene that shocked everyone in the world appeared. I saw the waterspout wrapping Greninja burst open. The surging water turns into a butterfly. Normal's wings are behind Greninja. Advertisement. The next moment, the water flow that turned into butterfly wings turned into a huge water shuriken and was pinned to Greninja's back. A subtitle appeared at the bottom of the screen. This shuriken is proof of the bond. At this moment, everyone in the world finally saw Greninja's appearance clearly. That's completely different from the original Greninja. Some people didn't notice the appearance of Greninja in the water before. Now that the water has dispersed, his appearance appears in front of the world. Yulongdu. What is this? Alternative Greninja. Close black lens bracket. Steven. I noticed just now that Greninja seemed to have changed in the water. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. Are there any new changes? Is this also the Mega Evolution? Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. You have to ask Professor Buratano. Close black lens bracket. Professor Buratano. This is not Mega Evolution. Mega Evolution requires 3 necessary conditions, and Xiaozhi is missing 2 of them. That's why I want to take a closer look at Greninja. Close black lens bracket. Professor Buratano. Now it seems that although Greninja is not a Mega Evolution, it is still a kind of evolution. I didn't have much idea at first, but that subtitle gave me inspiration. I felt that using this name couldn't be more correct. Close black lens bracket. Professor Buratano. Its name is Bond Evolution. Close black lens bracket. Bond. Evolution? Thinking about it, The name does seem to fit. All the changes in Greninja seem to be the result of the bond with Xiaozhi. Plus that sentence on the subtitle just now, this shuriken is proof of the bond. The name Bond Evolution couldn't be more fitting. While audiences around the world were having heated discussions, the video continued to play. Greninja transformed from a cocoon into a butterfly with its limbs spread out high in the sky, like a kite. Normal floating and soaring in the sky. Who else can fly? Greninja, water shuriken. Knocked. Greninja reached behind with his right hand, grabbed the huge shuriken, and threw it suddenly. The huge shuriken fell like a shooting star. The air seems to be cut open while spinning. Shadow Ball. S9. Advertisement Gardevoir also condensed a huge shadow ball in his hand. This is already her full attack. Boom. The shadow ball shot out and tackled the huge water shuriken. Two powerful attacks collide. The power of water flow and ghost system are constantly intertwining in midair. Judging from the performance capabilities alone, the attacks from both sides were even more intense than Pikachu's previous tackle against the divine beast. After a stalemate for several seconds, the water shuriken finally broke through a hole in its constant rotation. Break through the shadow ball. With Diantha's ugly face, the water shuriken hit Gardevoir, and knocked it away dozens of meters away. Gardevoir lay on the ground with a look of pain on his face. Her body is already covered with scars, although she has not lost her fighting ability. But my physical strength is as weak as a candle in the wind. Greninja landed smoothly and was preparing to pursue the victory. Just when everyone thought Greninja was going to win. Xiaozhi, who looked excited, suddenly had his pupils constricted. Finally, his eyes lost focus and he fell to the ground. Greninja also seemed to have been hit hard. A blue light emitted from his body. He changed back to his original appearance and fell to the ground. Special review. The end of Diantha's dark history. Both sides. Xiaozhi Greninja versus Diantha Gardevoir. It was a draw. Rewards will be distributed to both parties later, so stay tuned. Audience is watching. What the hell? It's so exciting to watch. You're gone now. You don't play like this. This is somewhat anticlimactic, right? Xiaozhi is just one step away from defeating Diantha. Why did you faint suddenly? Even if Xiaozhi fainted, why did Greninja also collapse? It's like you were almost done spoiling the story, and then suddenly ran away at the end. Disgusting, right? Chapter 51. Mega Evolution is atavism? A worldwide wave? First update? Advertisement Tiandao inventory ended anticlimactically, as if something unplayable would appear if you put it down. Although this battle is said to be a draw, it can be said that Diantha won, but it can also be said that Xiaozhi won. Xiaozhi can defeat Gardevoir with just one more move. But Greninja and Xiaozhi fell to the ground at the same time inexplicably. If they hadn't known that Xiaozhi was not that kind of person, the audience would have thought that Xiaozhi was fixing the match. Yulongdu. Who can tell me what happened just now? Why did Xiaozhi fall? Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. I seem to have a clue, but let Professor Baratano explain it first. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Yes, Baratano Professor, didn't you just say that you wanted to explain the evolution of Mega? Close black lens bracket. Diantha also followed Professor Oak and changed the subject. They must not be allowed to delve into anything during the game just now. Mainly because of the game just now, it was so embarrassing. First, he was pressed and beaten by Greninja, who had just evolved. Then when he was about to win, Greninja suddenly lost his ability to fight. It looks like she can't afford to lose and buy it. It's better to just let her lose. Losing is just a matter of strength. However, if you look into the scene just now, you will feel that there is something wrong with her character. It has risen to the level of personality. Professor Baratano. Then let me tell you about the evolution of Mega first. Close black lens bracket. Professor Baratano. Before describing the evolution of Mega, I want to tell you the principle of this evolution, which is the atavism of Pokémon. Close black lens bracket. In ancient times, wars were rampant all year round. For Pokémon, being weak meant death. Therefore, Pokémon were very powerful in ancient times. Close black lens bracket. However, with the advent of peaceful times, many Pokémon have also changed their body shapes during this long life, becoming more suitable for modern survival. And Mega Evolution is to stimulate the ancient blood in Pokémon to achieve the effect of returning to their ancestors. Close black lens bracket. If you want to achieve Mega Evolution, you need 3 conditions. First, Pokémon must achieve its final evolution. Second, the trainer and Pokémon must have enough bonds. Third, and most crucially, you need Key Stone and Mega Evolution Stone. Close black lens bracket. With the popularization of Professor Baratano, everyone gradually understood what Mega Evolution is. That's it, I feel like I've learned a lot more. Advertisement. So the pendants hanging on the chests of Miss Diantha and Gardevoir are the Key Stone and the Mega Evolution Stone. Mega evolves. I'm so envious. I really want my Pokemon Mega to evolve too. Many people around the world have secretly remembered the appearance of Key Stone and Gardevoirite. The journey to find these 2 stones has begun. In this era when Mega Evolution has not yet become popular science, any Key Stone and Evolution Stone are definitely worth hundreds of millions. If the champion needs it, I'm afraid it will cost hundreds of millions. If you want to make a fortune, now is the best opportunity. Yulongdu. Professor Baratano, can my Dragonite Mega evolve? Close black lens bracket. After learning about the evolution of Mega, Yulongdu was very excited. If his Dragonite can Mega, he will be more confident of winning the World Championship in the near future. After all, Dan Emperor is a man who has the ability to Gigantamax, and he can only perform ordinary Gigantamax. Bratano. Nothing has been discovered so far, but Garchomp has a Mega Evolution, and Charizard also has it. As for more types, they're still being studied, close black lens bracket. Dandy. Oh, Mega Evolved Charizard. This is quite interesting. I wonder if I can find an evolution stone for my Charizard, close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Can Garchomp also evolve? That's great, close black lens bracket. Steven. Where is Metagross? Does Metagross have it? Close black lens bracket. Alder. And Volcarona. Does Volcarona have it? Close black lens bracket. Bratano's words completely shocked everyone at Dive. Not just champions and elites. Even gym leaders in many places are frantically asking Baratano about the evolution of Mega. Some simply didn't ask on the barrage list, but called directly. For a moment, Baratano's phone was buzzing with calls. Professor Baratano. Please stop calling us. If the latest research results of Mega come out, I will publish them as soon as possible. Please wait a moment before doing this, close black lens bracket. After this sentence, the violent phone calls and explosive barrages slowly subsided. Everyone was a respectable person, and since Baratano said so, they were naturally embarrassed to continue asking questions. Advertisement on the other side, Team Rocket, Team Galactic, Waterfleet. Evil organizations in various regions have begun to take action. Mega Evolution is an extremely powerful boost to every evil organization. Naturally, they immediately went to look for the Mega Evolution Stone. As for directly kidnapping Professor Baratano, how many lives do you have? With so many gym owners, elites, champions and even other evil organizations watching. Who dares to touch Professor Baratano? Anyone who touches him will become the enemy of the most powerful trainer in the world. It is definitely impossible to monopolize the results of Mega's evolution. Why not spend more time looking for Key Stone and Mega Evolution Stone? From a few days ago, there was a wave of searching for stones all over the world. Steven suddenly has hundreds of millions more competition rival. Of course, there may be hundreds of millions more people coming to help him find rocks. After all, Steven is rich. The whole world is his wage earner.jpg. Professor Baratano. Professor Oak, you can now share your opinions on Xiaozhi Greninja. Have you figured out the changes in Greninja? Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. Regarding that, I just used my connections to contact a hidden ninja village and learned a lot about the legend of Greninja, so I am even more sure. Professor Oak. Xiaozhi's Greninja is the legendary hero Greninja, close black lens bracket. Hero. Greninja? It sounds very powerful, of course, it is actually very powerful. After all, that is a Mega Ninja Frog that can defeat the Mega Evolved Gardevoir. Brothers and sisters, I have received 4 updates in the past 2 days. I have received all your rewards and reminders. There will definitely be more rewards when it is put on the shelves. In addition, regarding the 4 animation skills, except for Muji, which I know is not the case, I am not sure about the subsequent ones. Anyway, at least BW must have 4 skills. Later, Greninja and Pikachu also maintained their 4 skills, and BW even replaced the high voltage Thunder Shock with Electro Ball. Chapter 52. The Secret of Bond Evolution. Belongs to Xiaozhi's Destiny, second update. Advertisement. Ninja Village is located in the Kalos region. Although it is a hidden village, many people know it. Because they are extremely powerful. Inside their ancestral hall, there is a mural hanging, which promotes the legendary Pokémon that saved Ninja Village 100 years ago. Greninja. That Greninja is different from the normal Greninja. Although you can't see the front, there is a huge shuriken behind it. Therefore, people in Ninja Village call that Greninja, Hero Greninja. The characteristics behind it can be said to be exactly the same as Xiaozhi's Greninja. Professor Oak had heard of this rumor before, but just went to confirm it. Hanzo. Professor Oak is right, the figure of Greninja does exist in our mural, close black lens bracket. Hanzo, the current leader of Ninja Village, he knows the legend and appearance of Greninja by heart. He had already had doubts when he first saw Greninja changing form. When he saw the huge shuriken coming out, he was absolutely sure that it was the hero Ninja Frog. Yulongdu. But, how did Xiaozhi get Greninja to achieve that posture? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Yes, in all my years in Kalos, I have never seen any Greninja look like that. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. Xiaozhi's Greninja should be the most special, of course, Xiaozhi is also special. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. You have seen Xiaozhi's power before. The deeper the bond with Pokémon, the stronger the power they can exert at critical moments. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. Xiaozhi's Greninja can directly convert this special power into the power of evolution. in order to achieve that unprecedented bond evolution, close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. Compared to the Mega Evolution that requires Keystone and Mega Evolution stones, the Bond evolution of Xiaozhi and Greninja is undoubtedly better, because they don't need props, they can achieve the conditions for evolution just by relying on the bond between them. This also shows from the side how terrifying the bond between them is, close black lens bracket. Wow! Advertisement. Professor Oak's words shocked the whole world. Professor Brodano said before that no matter how deep the bond with Pokémon is, without key props, it would be impossible for Mega to evolve. Because Mega Evolution stones are items that stimulate the genetic power of Pokémon. The Key Stone is a prop used to turn the bond between people and Pokémon into reality, thereby inspiring Mega Evolution stones. Therefore, both are indispensable, but now, Xiaozhi has shown people all over the world what a true bond is. No Key Stone is needed, no Evolution Stone is needed, and the atavistic gene in Greninja's body is activated by relying on fetters. This is Xiaozhi's terrifying power. This is the Pokémon trainer who keeps beating the gods. Professor Baratano. Also, I don't know if you have noticed that after Greninja evolved, Xiaozhi and him seem to have merged into one. Everything Greninja saw, Xiaozhi seemed to be able to see it too, close black lens bracket. Professor Bronado. Whether it was attacking or dodging, Xiaozhi made exactly the same moves as Greninja. Even Greninja's appearance is somewhat similar to Xiaozhi, close black lens bracket. Professor Brodano. In other words, that Greninja is a Pokémon destined to belong only to Xiaozhi. Only Xiaozhi can let it undergo bond evolution, close black lens bracket. A Pokémon that only belongs to me? Xiaozhi looked at the text sent by Professor Baratano and was a little confused for a moment. Although Charizard and Pikachu have defeated the mythical beasts several times before. But Xiaozhi felt that it was the result of their hard work and had nothing to do with destiny or God's favor. But this time is different. This feeling of destiny made Xiaozhi feel for the first time that maybe he was the protagonist of this world? This conjecture not only made Xiaozhi extremely excited, but also made him a little inflated. After all, he is only a 10-year-old boy now, far from being as mature as he will be in the future. Muji's Xiaozhi even had to do tactical coaching when playing in the Indigo Plateau Conference. He was really bad, and his mentality was not good. Later, the Johto region began to slowly improve, and he was basically able to stand on his own in the Super Generation. Advertisement, Wickstrom. But Xiaozhi doesn't have Greninja yet, right? After this review, the Froakie series of Pokémon will definitely usher in a craze. What if Xiaozhi's Greninja is conquered by others? Close black lens bracket. This sentence was like a blow to the head that brought Xiaozhi out of his fantasy of smelling salts. Yes, all the Pokémon he had counted before were already owned by him, but Greninja, he doesn't have any now. What if Greninja is subdued by someone else? For a moment, Xiaozhi lost all his arrogance. Thinking of Greninja being subdued, he felt uncomfortable in his heart. Don't worry, Xiaozhi, isn't that your destined Greninja? In that case, then you have to believe that he will come to you? Misty comforted Xiaozhi in a rare moment, although she usually hits Xiaozhi when he is swollen. But, when Xiaozhi was confused and frustrated, she was the first one to comfort him. That's right, Xiaozhi, you have to believe in the bond between you and Greninja. Xiaogang also comforted him. If that Greninja is really destined to belong to Xiaozhi, then Xiaozhi will definitely meet him. Thank you everyone. I believe in the fate between Greninja and me. With the encouragement of the two, Xiaozhi cheered up again. Many champions on the side also nodded happily. Instead of being obsessed with the non-existent future, Xiaozhi has begun to develop towards his future self. Brandon. I understand the principle of bond evolution. What I'm curious about now is, why did Xiaozhi fall to the ground with Greninja in the end? Close black lens bracket. Chapter 53. Diantha and Xiaozhi's reward distribution. Mega suit with Froakie, third update. Advertisement. Diantha's face darkened. Brandon really doesn't care about things, and she wasn't the one who hurt him in the first place. As for being so targeted, you have to drag someone into the water to share the dark history, right? It turns out you are such a bad old man, Professor Oak. Regarding this point, it is probably because Xiaozhi and Greninja's movements are synchronized. He and Greninja seem to be integrated into one body, and they also share their physical strength. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. Didn't Xiaozhi train with Greninja at the very beginning? They should have experimented with suddenly losing consciousness during battle before, so they would exercise their physical strength in a targeted manner. Close black lens bracket. Bruno. That's why Xiaozhi participated in the performance training with Greninja. I thought Xiaozhi just wanted to exercise. Close black lens bracket. Agatha. Do you think everyone is as simple-minded and well-developed as you? Close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. Besides Bruno, who would train their body to be able to battle Pokémon. Not counting Xiaozhi, he is a natural mega rookie. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Being able to fight in championship-level battles for so long really deserves the title of mega rookie. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Look, how could I go on a match-fixing basis? This is why Xiaozhi and the others haven't gotten enough exercise yet. Close black lens bracket. Wickstrom. Who said you were match fixing? You're not going to show off yourself here, are you? Close black lens bracket. Hello? Yes, it's me, Diantha. Help me prepare a helicopter to go back to Kalos tonight? Place. Wickstrom's house. Kanto region. Diantha made a phone call with a dark face and called her private jet over. Although not as rich as Steven's family, as the champion of Kalos. We still have this little capital, Wickstrom, right? Tonight I will raise all your ancestral graves? Cynthia covered her mouth and smiled. That's not necessary, Diantha, he was just joking. Haha, a joke? That's right, I'm going back to make a joke with him too. Facing Cynthia's dissuasion, Diantha smiled slightly. When Sister Ka smiles, life or death is hard to say. Even Xiaogang, who was looking at several beauties on the side, couldn't help but feel a chill in his heart after seeing Diantha's smile. Amitabha, almsgiver, I will burn incense for you. Advertisement. After the liquidation is completed, Tiandao inventory rewards will be distributed. Please pay attention to the two winners. Close black lens bracket. The fourth official inventory of Tiandao inventory is about to begin. This inventory is a large-scale inventory and will take longer. Please be prepared. Close black lens bracket. Just when everyone was talking about the last battle, the voice of Tiandao taking inventory sounded. What came with the sound were two pure white lights. The light passed through the house and shot into the interior of the house. A beam of light appeared next to Diantha and Xiaozhi respectively. Soon, the light dissipated. Three things appeared in front of everyone. Next to Diantha are two pendants with two beautiful stones inlaid on them. And next to Xiaozhi is a blue Pokémon egg, Key Stone and Evolution Stone. After Lance saw Diantha's reward clearly, he shouted instantly. At their level, they actually have no desire for normal things. But this, normal, thing definitely does not include Mega Evolution Stones and Key Stones. These two things are very much desired by everyone in the world, including elite champions. Especially Lance. He also imagined that after his Dragonite gets the evolution system. Punch Lorelei to become the Kanto champion, kick Dandy to become the world champion. However, his fantasy can only become a fantasy, but Diantha's fantasy has become a reality. When it comes to the covet of the evolution stone and key stone, Diantha's desire is definitely no less than Lance's. After all, she saw her Gardevoir Mega evolve with her own eyes. That elegant posture, that powerful strength, although she was disappointed by Greninja, it is undeniable that Mega Gardevoir is really elegant and powerful. When she was speaking on the barrage before, her desire almost overflowed the screen. She would rather trade all her beautiful clothes for the key stone and the evolution stone. Unexpectedly, Tiandao inventory actually rewarded her with what she longed for most. I'm sorry, Mr. Tiandao. I blamed you wrongly. Let's take stock of black history, just black history. If I could be rewarded with props of this level, I would be willing to do the inventory 10 more times. Advertisement. Diantha happily picked up the key stone and evolution stone beside her. You can't put it down and watch it over and over again, and even put it under the light, shining in the eyes of the champions around you. Lance's back molars are almost crunching. Damn it, don't I have any dark history to take stock of? As long as you give me Dragonite's evolution stone, I'm willing to take stock of the dark history. If you can make Dragonite Mega Evolution, you can take stock of any dark history. What's more, although Diantha seems like a dark history at first. But think about it, those were legendary Pokémon from 100 years ago. Rounding it all off, it's no worse than a mythical beast, right? Even if Diantha loses, she will definitely blame the other party for cheating, and she will not be embarrassed at all. And she hasn't lost yet, just a tie. A slightly embarrassing black history in exchange for a key stone and a trump card evolution stone. How can I make money by doing so? Xiaozhi, what kind of Pokémon egg is this? Misty looked at the blue Pokémon egg in Xiaozhi's hand curiously. This Tiandao inventory did not announce the reward content. So everyone doesn't know what the blue Pokémon egg in Xiaozhi's hand is. Xiaozhi, who got the Pokémon egg, looked at the Pokémon egg in his hand with great joy. He never expected that Tiandao inventory would reward him with this Pokémon. It's Froakies Pokémon egg, Froaca. Misty was stunned for a moment and didn't even remember what Pokémon this was. After all, Froaca is basically extinct in the Kanto region. On the contrary, Cynthia reacted quickly. Could it be that this is your Greninja, Xiaozhi? Huh? Is Froaca a degeneration of Greninja? Wouldn't it be? Misty looked at the Pokémon egg in Xiaozhi's hand with a shocked expression. This Pokémon egg is the invincible Greninja in the image just now. Chapter 54. Mega Evolution, Large-Scale Social Death Scene, 4th Update. Advertisement. In a small house near the Indigo Plateau Conference, no one would have thought that all the champions in the world would be gathered here. And he is also the 6th of the 8 masters, and now these 6 masters are looking at a 10-year-old boy with envy. Even they did not expect that the problem that Xiaozhi was still worried about before would. Tiandao inventory actually solved it for him directly. Are you afraid that you won't meet your destined Greninja in the future? It doesn't matter, I'll just bring you Froaca when he was still an egg. From the words of Egg Breeder, I am afraid that the bond between Xiaozhi and Greninja will be even stronger in the future. That's great, Xiaozhi. This is a general who will definitely reach the championship level in the future, even the super champion level. Bruno can be said to be very envious. Even though he has worked hard for most of his life, Breeder has not produced a few championship level Pokémon. Even finding Pokémon with great potential is a painstaking process. But look at Xiaozhi, let alone Pikachu and Charizard who have been reviewed. Now a Pokémon that is almost certain to reach the championship level falls directly into Xiaozhi's hands. It is impossible to say that I am not envious. Yes, I envy you, Xiaozhi, too, although my reward is not bad either. Diantha said, changed her words, and took out her key stone to show off in front of everyone. No one would have thought that the mighty Kalo's champion. Now it's like a kid who got his favorite toy, normal. Show it off everywhere and keep holding it since you can't put it down. Okay, I know you got the key stone and the evolution stone. I don't know if you can evolve, so just show off here. Lance couldn't stand it anymore. Even if this person got the key stone, he still showed it off in front of him. My uncle can tolerate it, but my aunt cannot tolerate it. Oh yes, you reminded me, Diantha said as she released her Gardevoir. And she wore Gardevoir's Mega Evolution Stone on her body. Let me think about it. It seems like this. Diantha placed her hand on the pendant she had just tied around her neck and closed her eyes. Then, nothing happened. This. Advertisement. This. Diantha opened her eyes, her expression looking a little shy and angry. What's going on? She's obviously exactly the same as mimics in the inventory just now. Why can't Mega evolve now? Didi. Diantha dialed Professor Bratano's phone number directly, but received a voice saying that the phone was turned off. Helpless, she could only call Professor Oak again, and this time the call was connected. Hello, Miss Diantha. What's up, Professor Oak? That's it. Do you know how Mega evolves? To be honest, I don't have much experience in this field. You should ask Professor Bratano about this. In Professor Oak's laboratory, Professor Oak is eating instant noodles. After the Indigo Plateau Conference, he returned to the laboratory. Anyway, Pallet Town is not very far from the Indigo Plateau Conference venue. Facing Diantha's question, Professor Oak gave Diantha a friendly suggestion. Ask the experts. I just can't get through Professor Bratano's phone. That's it. Diantha told Professor Oak that she had obtained the Evolution Stone and Key Stone. These two things can be said to be the most precious props in the world at present. After all, the inventory just revealed the power and splendor of Mega's evolution. Therefore, not even Diantha wanted to reveal to the world that she had these two things. This evolution can be used as a powerful trump card for her. At least he can trick Wallace or Chibana in the Masters. Xiaozhi, Alice, and Alan are no longer in the 8th Master, and their replacements are Kibana, Wallace, and Alder. After learning that the rewards Diantha will receive are the Mega Evolution Stone and Key Stone, Professor Oak was also very surprised. Then he thought about giving Diantha some advice. Mega Evolution requires the bond between people and Pokémon. There are many kinds of bonds, such as family ties, friendship, mood, etc. The reason why you can't evolve now is because you and Gardevoir don't have a synchronized mood. It's like the bond evolution of Xiaozhi and Greninja. They are trying to defeat you, so they can inspire stronger power in their bodies, but you have no goal now. If you insist on trying it now, could you try adding a line? Diantha was stunned for a moment after hearing Professor Oak's words. What the hell are the lines? Advertisement. Brush. Professor Oak's subsequent words made Diantha's face turn red instantly. Then she hung up the phone as she thanked her. Everyone looked at Diantha curiously. What did Professor Oak say just now? How could she make her face so rosy? How about it, Miss Diantha, do you know how Mega evolved? Stephen asked first. Diantha remained silent, but her face became redder and redder. Let me try. For a long time, Diantha held back this sentence, then took a deep breath. He suppressed all his emotions and put on a serious look on his face. I saw her holding the key stone on her chest and shouting seriously. You are the Queen of Daylight, the King of the Superworld. Everyone in the world is attracted by you. Show your true form. Gardevoir Mega Evolution. If this doesn't mean you can't Mega Evolve, I want Zisha. Purple Sand. Single quote. I don't know how she yelled such an embarrassing line. But for Gardevoir to evolve, she shouted out. Professor Oak tells her that she needs to say something that resonates with Pokémon. If you arouse excitement in Pokémon, you might be able to successfully evolve into Mega. As a movie star in the entertainment industry, she instantly thought of lines from certain movies. Just to do this in front of so many champions, that is really embarrassing. It's the ultimate level of secondary school. All the champions, even Xiaozhi and others were stunned. Is this the elegant and charming Diantha? Before anyone could react, the stone in front of Gardevoir and Diantha burst into light. Then, Gardevoir's shape slowly changed, her skirt became more fluffy, and her hair became a little puffier. The light dissipated, and the brand new Gardevoir appeared in front of everyone. Mega Evolution. Success. Chapter 55. The large-scale inventory officially begins. The legendary patron saint. First update. Advertisement. The evolved Gardevoir from Mega is more elegant and beautiful than the one on the screen. You can feel the strong Hideki field emanating from it just by standing there. If Gardevoir is a royal sister, then Mega Gardevoir is truly Her Majesty the Queen. It is indeed a good thing that evolution has succeeded, but... Peeved. Ha ha ha, I couldn't help it, I'm sorry, ha ha. Among the people present, Bruno, the simplest one, laughed out loud, and it was a hearty laugh. The other champions who were holding back their discomfort finally came to their senses amid Bruno's laughter. The collective laughed out loud, mainly, the kind of lines just now, if replaced by some teenagers, such as Xiaozhi. There may not be any sense of inconsistency, but it's Diantha. The burning appearance of the second soul is in sharp contrast to the usual elegant appearance. Even if she acted in TV series and movies, Diantha would never take such a role. After all, neither my personality nor my external persona are suitable for such a performance. Therefore, it can be said that the champions here now have their eyes opened. I couldn't help but feel like laughing. We are professionally trained, and Normal will not laugh unless he cannot help it. JPG. You, stop laughing. If you laugh again, I will let Gardevoir give you a moonblast. Ahem, don't laugh, don't laugh. Hearing this, the champion elites quickly tightened their faces and stopped laughing. Unexpectedly, the next second, Alder took out a red Pokédex and said with a smile that couldn't be suppressed. Well, ahem, just now I wanted to record the evolution of Gardevoir, ahem, who knows? Brush. Diantha's face turned red instantly, and the next moment she roared at Alder. I advise you to be kind. Delete the video immediately, otherwise, you will know why the flowers are so red later. If this image spreads, she won't even have to see anyone. I didn't expect that Alder usually looks like. Forget it, he usually doesn't look honest either. She never expected that she would fall into this guy's hands. Advertisement. This is not possible. This is the first Mega Evolution in the world. When Mega Evolution becomes popular in the future, this video will be valuable. As he spoke, Alder quickly stuffed the Pokédex back into his arms. Diantha was so angry that she was almost ready to fight with Alder. At this time, the screen hanging in the hall suddenly lit up, the ethereal voice also sounded again. The large-scale Divine War inventory has officially begun. Please read some brief introduction first. After the words fell, the image officially started playing on the screen. Diantha had no choice but to give up for the time being and wait until the video was over to settle the score with Alder. With much anticipation, the start of the fourth Divine Battle has finally officially begun. I don't know if this is the usual introduction to introduce a Pokémon from weak to strong. Then try to match the story of the gods. If it were Encore, the audience wouldn't be all stupid. Regardless of the probability or not, if you give the early summary, it means that the probability of this Pokémon winning is as high as 80%. Who can fight with you? Metaphysics is the way to go. In the image, a large island appeared in the sight of everyone around the world. The name of this island is also introduced kindly at the bottom of the screen, Mele Mele Island. Samson Oak. Huh, isn't this our Mele Mele Island in Alola region? It seems that the character appearing this time is from our Alola region, close black lens bracket. Alola region, due to its remote location and smaller terrain compared to other regions. And there is no powerful and famous trainer, so it is not classified into Pokémon Alliance. They don't even hold the annual Alliance competition. It can be said to be a small mountain village region. Many people in Alola, such as Professor Kukui, have always wanted to connect Alola region and Alliance. I just haven't found the right opportunity. Now it seems that we can assist Tiandeo's inventory and integrate it into Alliance. The island in the image has been reduced to a very small size in order to give everyone a clear view of Mele Mele Island. Then the screen began to zoom in continuously, and the final position lock-on was at a dead volcano. A yellow and black figure appeared in front of everyone. Black's body, orange comb head, 2 half-shells attached to his hands. Open black lens bracket Professor Kukui. Tapu Koko. This is the patron saint of our island in Alola region. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement, Alola region. Professor Kukui couldn't help but speak on the barrage. Tapu Koko actually appeared on the feed, you know, he is a divine beast. Normally, it is on the side being challenged, now it appears in the early stage. Teacher Kukui, is this the patron saint of our Alola island? Stephanie, who has blue hair named Shui Lien, asked excitedly. At this time, the group was in a place called Pokémon School in Alola. In addition to Shui Lien, there are 4 other students in the classroom. School is actually over now, but they all want to review the video together in school. After all, such interesting things must be watched together to be fun. Unexpectedly, in the 3rd round today, they saw their own island god at the beginning, Tapu Koko. Yes, it's definitely Tapu Koko. It seems, one of the people on the list this time is Tapu Koko. Since it is called a large-scale divine battle, there must be more than one divine beast. Tapu Koko is just one of them. Professor Kukui looked at the screen with some anticipation. Alola. It's time to show it to the world, in the image. After zooming in on Tapu Koko, you can find that there are many Pokémon around him. In addition to Pokémon, there are many humans. These humans all have the letter R tattooed on their bodies and have evil expressions on their faces. Yulongdu. What? Team Rocket. How could they go to Alola region? And also found the island patron saint of Alola region. Close black lens bracket chapter 56. The terrifying island god, the divine beast with the priesthood. Second update. Advertisement Yuwa is Team Rocket's mortal enemy, so he can instantly recognize their costumes. However, Alola region is equivalent to a remote island. Even Lance doesn't know about the so-called island god above. How did Team Rocket get the information? Now the island god in the picture is surrounded by a group of Team Rocket people. And the Pokémon released are all kinds of, they are basically Pokémon in the third stage of evolution. Leading the way are two rather special Pokémon. Looks very much like Aggron and Steelix. But, it's just an image. Every part of the body looks completely different. It's like, evolved, Wickstrom. Can Aggron Mega Evolve? Close black lens bracket. Steven. Steelix can also Mega Evolve. Close black lens bracket. Two steel enthusiasts spoke, and the first thing they noticed was this. Wallace. Idiot, don't pay attention to whether they evolve or not. Isn't the problem now that the island god has encountered a big crisis? Close black lens bracket. Wallace. Even for legendary Pokémon, it would probably be extremely difficult to deal with the beat-up of dozens of Pokémon in the presence of Mega Evolutions. Close black lens bracket. Professor Kukui. Don't worry, Mr. Wallace, Tapu Koko. Isn't that weak? Close black lens bracket. The barge was sent out, and the rockets in the image also started attacking. A variety of moves fly out together, flamethrower, flash cannon, big text fire, etc. All are long-range attacks. It seems that even if they have a numerical advantage, they don't dare to approach the island god rashly. Faced with so many moves, Tapu Koko remains calm. Under the horrified eyes of people around the world, Tapu Koko moved. In the meantime, he waved his right hand and stuck the tip on the ground, and a violent force surged out of his body. Purple light flashes and energy waves surge. The ground becomes like a purple mirror normal, extremely smooth. With Tapu Koko as the core, purple energy explodes like a nuclear bomb normal. The range includes almost the entire dead volcano. The world seemed to be shaking. This is Tapu Koko's exclusive move, Nature's Madness. Boom. With a huge explosion, the scene was obscured by smoke. After the smoke dissipated, Tapu Koko was slowly floating in the air. And those Pokémon that attacked him, including the first two Mega-evolved behemoths. All have fallen. Tapu Koko's eyes looked at the many Team Rocket members. Advertisement they were instantly frightened to the point of peeing, and they quickly took the Pokémon back and prepared to escape. But the island god is so good-tempered, you can come and leave as you please. The golden spark surges like thunder that destroys the world, normal thunder emits. All Team Rocket members were instantly scorched to death by discharge. Then, pink light covered Tapu Koko's body, he ejected like a cannonball normal, knocked the charred Team Rocket members away one after another. For a moment, there was no sign of any Team Rocket members inside the dead volcano. As for whether they are alive or not, this is not what everyone cares about. I can only say that those hateful evil organizations will deserve their death even if they die. Not everyone is like the Rockets trio. What everyone is more concerned about is Tapu Koko's terrifying fighting power. Although the previous mythical beasts were strong, they were still within a reasonable range. However, Tapu Koko is simply unreasonably strong. They are simply not on the same level as the previous mythical beasts. The video playback ends here. This is the least synopsis ever played. But it allowed people in the world to clearly see the power called God. What a handsome island god. He will be my natal god from now on. How come you have such a handsome shell smash dream like Tapu Koko? Ah, I really want to be shocked by Tapu Koko. This is the first time I have seen Tapu Koko take action. He is much stronger than I thought. Professor Kukui said with some emotion. Tapu Koko looks so cool when he fights bad guys. Do the other three guardian angels have such strong power? Mao, who has green hair and wears gray suspender shorts, looks quite excited after seeing Tapu Koko's battle. Her whole body was on fire. Lily, who looked like a lady beside her, said softly. Tapu Koko is truly amazing and worthy of being the patron saint of our island. During the words, Lily's eyes flickered a little. I wonder if the boy who was on the list before will appear again. If he appears, does that mean he will come to the Alola region? Pikachu, Xiaozhi, always feels surprisingly friendly. Yulongdu. What a terrifying destructive power, completely different from the previous mythical beasts. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement, Bruno. Compared with him, Regis and Latios are inferior. Close black lens bracket. Brandon. I advise you to reorganize your language, otherwise I, a Shenju enthusiast, will go to the gym today. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. It's not that the other mythical beasts are too weak, but that Tapu Koko is too strong. I guess. Tapu Koko should be a mythical beast with divine power. Close black lens bracket. Stephen. If you have a priesthood, then it wouldn't be surprising to have such power. Close black lens bracket. Mao. What is the priesthood? Close black lens bracket. Everyone was stunned when they saw an unfamiliar name suddenly appear on the barrage. But everyone soon realized that there were actually many hidden things in the barrage the trainer had never spoken about. Now I guess I am asking the question out of curiosity. Professor Kukui. Sorry, my student has caused trouble for you, Please, can someone explain to her about the priesthood? Close black lens bracket. Professor Kukui actually has no research on the priesthood. Although his nickname is Professor, he specializes in different aspects. For example, Professor Baratano specializes in Mega Evolution. He is studying Z moves. In fact, he doesn't really understand the unfamiliar vocabulary of priesthood. Cynthia. Normal's mythical beast, although its physical strength, ability value, and growth limit are stronger than ordinary Pokémon, it is not impossible to deal with it. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. But having a priesthood is different. A divine beast with a priestly role can assist the power of heaven and earth. Each move will be more powerful. It can be said that the difference between ordinary mythical beasts and normal Pokémon is the same as that between ordinary mythical beasts and normal Pokémon. Close black lens bracket. The mythical beast that holds the priesthood is so terrifying. Regarding the plot of Sun and Moon, I actually didn't watch it all, it was all edited intermittently. There are also people who check the information themselves, and some details may not be in place. Please forgive me. It's not that I don't want to go see it, it's just that, there are no resources. The Sun and Moon Encyclopedia of Station B was directly deleted, leaving only the middle version. Even if it's a winning match, the number of episodes isn't complete. I'm so ed up. Regarding the battle between Xiaozhi and Professor Kukui, I basically only saw the complete battle through other people's commentary. Everyone is numb. In short, I will try my best to describe a wonderful battle to you. Thank you for your support. Chapter 57. Everyone fights. Xiaozhi. The Beastman is actually me? Third update. Advertisement. Under Cynthia's explanation, everyone also understood what a divine beast is. They didn't expect that among the divine beasts, there were even divisions between those with clerical duties and those without. Yu Longdu. Divine beasts with priesthood are indeed terrifying. I fought once against Moltres who had the priesthood, and even my Dragonite had a hard time winning. Close black lens bracket. Lance is starting to show off. Having just finished talking about how terrifying the divine beasts are, Lance backhanded a famous line. Divine beasts and so on, in fact, they can't beat me at all. JPG. Lorelei. Okay, stop pretending. If you are that powerful, beat me first. Kanto Flying Series Elite. Yulongdu. Close black lens bracket. Lance glared at Lorelei who was smiling. This guy is stealing bamboo shoots. He was trying to tear him down again, and he was calling him a flying elite. NND, both flying and dragon types are restrained by this guy's ice type. The strength of the two of them was almost the same, but when they were completely restrained, his Dragon Legion couldn't get past each other. Therefore, he was unable to refute Lorelei's words. Am I wrong? You are vicious. Xiaozhi looked at Pikachu beside him and said excitedly. Did you hear that, Pikachu? There are so many powerful Pokémon in the world, we have to defeat them one by one? Pikapi. Roar. The old fan looked at Tapu Koko frozen in the picture with high spirits. Defeating the godless Articuno is by no means his end, he's going to be the world's mightiest Charizard. And defeat the divine beast with the priesthood. After a short rest, the picture on the screen started playing again. This time the screen went directly to a huge stadium. The surrounding auditorium was packed and the crowd was buzzing. In the audience, many Alola people saw some familiar figures. Advertisement. I even saw my own existence, Waterlily, Lily, Mao, etc. All of this means, this seems to be the stadium of Alola region. But, Kukui couldn't even think of it. When did Alola region get such a stadium? Amid the cheers of the audience, two figures slowly walked out of the passages on both sides. On one side is a young man wearing a white hat, dark skin, green sunglasses, shirtless and wearing a white robe. When everyone in the world looked at that smiling face, they almost looked like Xiaozhi. And on the other side, the familiar red and white hat, the familiar yellow-skinned mouse, the familiar Xiaozhi. It's Xiaozhi's battle again. In all the reviews so far, except for the brief summary of Tapu Koko just now, Xiaozhi is on the list. What is this called? A boy favored by God. Xiaozhi is a mythical beast that people rarely see in 100 years, but it is like a normal thing, and they often meet it. Even if you meet him, you can still fight him every time, it's simply out of reach. The man standing opposite Xiaozhi may not be recognized by ordinary people. But all the powerful trainers in the world have heard of him, and some have even fought against him. However, in the eyes of 90% of people, Professor Kukui is just a professor with normal combat power. Why are you fighting Xiaozhi? So who does Tapu Koko belong to? Is it Professor Kukui's? Inventory of those Pokémon that used their mortal bodies to fight against the gods. 4. Battle venue. Alola region Monaro Stadium. Battle object. Kukui vs Xiaozhi. 6 vs 6 for all members. Close black lens bracket. Pokémon possession situation. Professor Kukui, Incineroar, Empoleon, Venusaur, Lucario, Braviary, Tapu Koko. Close black lens bracket. Status of Pokemon held. Xiaozhi, Rowlet, Torracat, Lycanroc, Tetrajaw Needle Dragon, Melameta, Pikachu. Close black lens bracket. Among them, Tapu Koko is a mythical beast with a divine responsibilities. Tetrajaw Needle Dragon is an ultimate exotic beast and is classified into the category of mythical beasts. Melameta is a fantasy beast and is classified into the category of mythical beasts. Neither Pokemon has a clerical role. Close black lens bracket. The betting objects are Kukui and Xiaozhi. Viewers, please start betting. The time is 5 minutes. Close black lens bracket. This Tiandao inventory not only completely listed the Pokemon on both sides. It even clarifies who has the priesthood and who does not. Advertisement, of course. The most surprising thing is, Xiaozhi actually owns 2 mythical beasts. What is the name of an ultimate alien beast? No one who is not Alola knows about this. But they are familiar with the other phantom beast. Divine beasts such as Celebi, Mew, and Jirachi are all called fantasy beasts. They are also very powerful Pokemon. I never expected that Xiaozhi, the mythical beast antagonist who has been fighting mythical beasts all day long, would now turn into the mythical beast man himself. Moreover, this time the bet is not on which Pokemon will win, but bet on which trainer can win. After all, this is a 6-on-6 duel between all members. Xiaozhi, you actually own a divine beast? Lance looked at Xiaozhi with envy. What a divine beast. He actually wants it too. Especially the dragon-type beasts. The Pokemon he currently has, except for 2 Dragonites and 1 Altaria. The rest of the Pokemon are not considered dragon Pokemon at all. It just has the word, dragon, in it. For dragon-type Pokemon, Lance can be said to be very thirsty. Of course, this also has something to do with his high vision. That's in the future, Mr. Lance. Now I don't even know what the future will be like. Xiaozhi touched his head and said with a sheepish smile. Being envied by the champion is quite a proud thing for Xiaozhi now. I believe that you will definitely be able to obtain those Pokemon in the future. After all, you and them are destined to meet. Just like the Froca in your hand. Emperor Dan said with emotion. Xiaozhi is truly a person blessed by heaven. Even without the help of Heavenly Dao inventory, his achievements in the future will be extremely powerful. At the same time, over at Alola, Professor Kukui's students were looking at Professor Kukui with bright eyes. Nah, Professor, do you have Incineroar? Why have I never seen it before? And more, I haven't seen Lucario either. What are you talking about? Isn't the most important thing about Tapu Koko? Professor Kukui actually tamed a sacred beast with a priesthood. It's so cool. Xiaozhi actually tamed the ultimate beast. How awesome. And he even fought against Professor Kukui. Will Xiaozhi become our classmate in the future? Facing the siege of a group of young fans, Kukui could only wave his hands and smile. I always feel like, there's a big problem. Chapter 58. Let's start the betting. Xiaozhi is not favored again? Advertisement. In addition to his apparent status as Professor Kukui, there is another layer of hidden identity, that is the totem character in Battle Royal Dome, the Royal Masked Man. He has always concealed this identity and never told it. Even Professor Burnett, whom he likes, particularly admires the Royal Masked Man. He didn't even use this status to pursue her. The reason? Of course Kukui likes to keep a low profile. I don't know either, I just didn't find out why. Anyway, just assume this is the reason. However, now, this Tiandao inventory has directly announced his entire lineup. If anyone is interested and makes some guesses, they can easily think of his identity as the Royal Masked Man. Even if you can't guess it, you will probably think of it when you see him fighting. And, when did he conquer Tapu Koko? That's the god of the island. How could he be conquered? This is too much. Kukui is dealing with his cute yet troublesome students. And everyone in the world is already discussing who to bet on. Judging from the strength on paper, Brother Xiaozhi has 2 mythical beasts, Professor Kukui only has 1 mythical beast, and there is the mythical beast killer Pai Shen. It should be that Brother Xiaozhi is more likely to win, right? Haha, haven't you understood the routine of 2 Tiandao's inventory yet? Think about it, who was the prelude just now? How did we lose the previous games? You mean? There were endless discussions in various places, and the champions and elites also started to have heated discussions on the barrage. You Longdu. This wave. I think Professor Kukui will win. Close black lens bracket. Steven. I think so too. If someone is really confused by Xiaozhi's 2 mythical beasts, then he has fallen into the trap of Tiandao inventory. Close black lens bracket. Alder. How do you say this? Close black lens bracket, Professor Oak. I still know something about the Pokemon in the Alola region. All the Pokemon in Xiaozhi except Pikachu should be Alola Pokemon. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. I don't know much about Ultra Beasts and Melmetal, so I won't go into details here. Let's analyze Xiaozhi's other Pokemon, except for Pikachu, the remaining 3. Professor Oak. Rowlet, the royal family of the Alola region, is currently in the 1st stage. Torracat, the royal family of the Alola region, is currently in the 2nd stage. Lycanroc is also a Pokemon of the Alola region, competing against Pokémon like Diantha, close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. As for Professor Kukui, Incineroar, Empoleon, and Venusaur are all the final evolutions of the three families, and Lucario is also a very powerful Pokémon. He even has a divine beast with a divine responsibilities. Even if Xiaozhi has two divine beasts, the possibility of winning is not high. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak analyzed the combat performance of both sides in detail. In all aspects, Professor Kukui crushes Xiaozhi. Advertisement. Even if Xiaozhi has an unprecedented pair of divine beasts this time, but the other party is even better. Own a divine beast with a divine responsibilities. This battle can be regarded as a melee among the gods. Xiaozhi's chances of winning are indeed not great. The most important is, Diantha. Have you noticed that all the Pokémon are characters who released the summary before have won? Be it Pikachu or Charizard, close black lens bracket.
Yulongdu. I have discovered it a long time ago. So Tapu Koko, who released the synopsis this time, must be the winner. A mortal body versus a god. I should say Professor Kukui versus Xiaozhi's divine beast. As for Tapu Koko, there is no way to win. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. Lance, you started again. Close black lens bracket. Lorelei. Lance, you're doing it again. Close black lens bracket.
Cynthia. Lance, you're doing it again. Close black lens bracket. Yulongdu. Damn it. I will definitely win this time. If you don't believe it, just wait and see. Close black lens bracket. Lance is angry. These people are now mocking his previous words. In every previous battle between gods, he was so sure that Xiaozhi would lose. But this time, he, Yulongdu, is 100% confident that Xiaozhi will lose. Among other things, he had fought against Professor Kukui. The opponent exerted all his strength, but his strength was only slightly weaker than his. Don't tell me that I now have a divine beast with the power of a priest.
A divine beast with a divine vocation. Which Pokémon can Xiaozhi defeat? Pikachu. Or that Malu meta? If you want to win Tapu Koko, it's very blue. Boss, that kid named Xiaozhi will definitely lose this time. Yes, boss, how can Xiaozhi win against a Pokémon with a priesthood?
Petrol and Ariana said beside Giovanni. If others saw what the Rockets headquarters office looks like now, they would probably be shocked. The boss of the Rockets and his 4 executives actually did something like this in the office. I don't need you to tell me that a divine beast possesses the power of a priest. I have personally experienced that power. Giovanni said, putting all the 600 points in his hand on Kukui.
But in his mind, he recalled the power of Mewtwo.
Advertisement. The original Mewtwo was already comparable to the second-level beasts with the priesthood without the priesthood.
So Giovanni also knows how powerful the divine beast with the priesthood is.
This time, he will definitely win. The points you can earn from these 600 betting points are nothing at all. The main thing is, as the boss of the Rockets, he has never won once. This is so embarrassing, must win this time. Gary looked at the betting panel in front of him uncertainly. Who are you trying to suppress? If it weren't for what the champion and Grandpa said, he would definitely have crushed Xiaozhi directly. But now, forget it, just die. I'm afraid you won't have any support later and it will be embarrassing. With that said, Gary clicked on Xiaozhi's team and started placing bets.
Kalos region, Vanaville town. Xiaozhi, I believe you will win. Because, you are Xiaozhi.
With that said, Serena put all her 9 million points on Xiaozhi's side. That's right, 9 million. This is the result of Serena betting on Xiaozhi every time. She is a little different from Xiaozhi and others. That means she doesn't need to keep any points on her body at all, because she has nothing to buy. Therefore, 2,000 becomes 60,000, 60,000 becomes 600,000, 600,000 becomes 9 million. This is the rich woman Serena.
Chapter 59. Flash Fire Ability Torracat, have you seen it? First update.
Advertisement betting is like gambling. No one can guarantee a 100% win in the next game. If you can win some points and happen to have enough to buy something you like, that must be shopping first. For example, Xiaozhi and the Rockets all use points to buy what they need. As for Serena, it's not that she doesn't have anything she wants to buy, but since Xiaozhi appeared, the figure of Xiaozhi in her heart has been completely outlined. Now her mind is full of Xiaozhi, so how can she think about shopping? And, even if Xiaozhi doesn't know, she will silently support Xiaozhi behind her back. This is Serena. This is a green plum from heaven. People from all over the world, big and small, began to place their bets, influenced by the championship. In addition to the pit dug by the previous Tiandao inventory, now, the data supporting Xiaozhi and supporting Professor Kukui have come out. 99%, 1%, Professor Kukui, Xiaozhi. Professor Kukui received an approval rating of 99%. Second only to the difference between Xiaozhi and Brandon in the first game. But in terms of odds, Xiaozhi's odds are only 14 times, which is even lower than the odds in the previous game. In fact, judging from the support rate this time, it is similar to the one with Brandon, except that a rich woman threw 9 million into it. Xiaozhi had 250,000, Misty and Xiaoging had 100,000 each. Dandy and Alder continued to support Xiaozhi and released 50,000. The Rockets threw in 100,000, Gary put in 30,000, and Cynthia threw in all 6,000. This resulted in the support odds being much worse than the one with Brandon. Everyone only has 600 points, and Serena's 9 million alone can increase the odds of the other side a lot. Not to mention Gary and others. 5 minutes later, everyone's bets were completed and the game finally officially started. Now, the Alola Alliance exhibition match officially begins. Professor Kukui vs Xiaozhi. Just yesterday, Professor Kukui's true identity was revealed. He turned out to be the totem character in Battle Royal Dome, the Royal Masked Man. This adds a lot of legend to today's battle, and the name on the other side is not bad at all. He is the top 16 of the Indigo Plateau Conference, the top 8 of the Silver Conference, the top 8 of the Evergrande Conference, the top 4 of the Lily of the Valley Conference, the top 8 of the Virtus Conference, the runner-up of the Lumiose Conference, the Monaro Conference champion, the original champion of our Alola Alliance, contestant Xiaozhi. Everyone in the world was stunned when they heard this list of names. Is this Xiaozhi? Damn. How many conferences have I participated in? 7 conferences in total. It took me 7 conferences to win the championship. 03 Judging from the strength of Xiaozhi Pikachu Charizard, what kind of magical rival did he face in previous conferences? Except for the Lily of the Valley Conference where she met a man with a mythical beast, the rest of the conference should be stress-free, right?
How did you lose? You lose a lot, and it seems that the current Xiaozhi is the final version of Xiaozhi. The timeline is after he has finished fighting those mythical beasts.
In other words, is this the complete body of Xiaozhi? And Alola's side was even more chaotic. In addition to the big news that Xiaozhi is their Alola champion, they also learned another big news.
That is Professor Kukui turned out to be the Royal Masked Man.
Xiaozhi becoming the Alola champion is still in the future, but the Royal Masked Man has appeared in Alola now.
The students in Alola school looked at Professor Kukui with strange expressions.
Professor Kukui laughed awkwardly at everyone's looks and backed away. Boom. There was a sound of opening the door, and a beautiful girl with slightly dark skin appeared at the door. She looked at Professor Kukui with disbelief, admiration, confusion and admiration in her eyes. Kukui. You are. Barnett, please listen to my explanation. Seeing the person you love suddenly appear at the door, and thinking that you have hidden the identity of the Royal Masked Man from him. Professor Kukui was a little anxious for a moment. Brush. Baynette rushed over and held Kukui in her arms. Why didn't you tell me about this guy earlier? My idol is right next to me and I never knew it. Kukui's dark face instantly turned red as he was hugged by Baynette. The sensible students quickly covered their faces to prevent themselves from seeing it, but they still left a trace of their fingers. Let's not talk about the situation at Alola for now. In the screen, after explaining the backgrounds of both players, the game is finally about to begin. Professor Kukui took out a Pokeball and Xiaozhi. Very good, the first one will be decided on you. Pikachu. Pikachu has high aspirations. The weaker the power of the rival actor becomes, the more he can show his true strength. In this game, I'm sorry, Pikachu, you're not the first one, you have to calm down a bit. Pikachu turned around with a confused look on his face and then fell down weakly. Why don't you make me the starter? You have changed Xiaozhi, you used to make me the starter. It's up to you, Torracat, come on, Incineroar. Roar. A red and black standing brother Gihu appeared on the field. The look of his muscular muscles makes it obvious at a glance how well developed he is. Incineroar, also known as the best Pokemon in the universe. It can fight, resist and support, it is an all-round player. On the other hand, there is a cat-type Pokemon. Although this cat looks a bit fierce, a cat is a cat after all. As analyzed by many champions before the game, Xiaozhi's Pokemon, except for those 2 mythical beasts and Pikachu, are basically baby teams. A 2-stage evolution, a first-stage evolution, a Pokemon similar to Diantha. It's not on the same level as Professor Kukui's other Pokemon. Advertisement now after starting the battle, when the 3rd stage Incineroar and the 2nd stage Torracat stand together, it looks more 3-dimensional. Xiaozhi. Can't win at all. Want to understand the past grudges? Yes, Torracat. He must also want to defeat Incineroar himself. Haha, come on, then we'll attack first. Torracat, Flame Charge. Xiaozhi took the lead in launching the command. The next second, Torracat was surrounded by scorching flames. He rushed out like an arrow from a string. Flame Charge is a skill that can increase speed. Torracat's speed itself is not low. If Flame Charge speeds up again, it will be quite beneficial to Incineroar, which has reduced its speed after evolution. This is just like when Pikachu fought against Raichu. Since strength is not enough, then use speed to win. There is naturally a way to win without evolving. Meow. Torracat's spark arrived in front of Incineroar like flint. Only then did Professor Kukui speak. Incineroar, use Bulk Up. Roar. Roaring Tiger made a Bulk Up action, and his whole body glowed with orange light. Bulk Up is successful, attack and defense +1, boom. Torracat hit Incineroar's strong muscles, causing slight damage. Then he was directly bounced back by the bulging muscles. The damage caused by this attack may be higher than the damage received by Incineroar. Blaine. The gap is too big. Apart from speed, Torracat has no advantage. Close black lens bracket. Alchemy Emperor. It is true in terms of ability, but in terms of fighting spirit, the two of them are not that different. Dandy both agrees with Blaine's ideas but also disagrees with him. The current Torracat is indeed at a disadvantage, but, again, I believe Xiaozhi. Emperor Dan saw his original shadow in Xiaozhi. Pokemon's strength doesn't mean everything. The power of Pokemon and trainer can create all possibilities. Torracat, Encore Flame Charge. Xiaozhi plans to implement the speed strategy to the end. When Torracat heard this, the blazing flames covered his body again, and then rushed out at a faster speed. DD Golden Hook Wall. Roar. Incineroar let out a roar, his hands covered with scorching flames. Then after seeing the reality of Torracat coming, the top started spinning normally. At this time, Incineroar is like a top with flames attached. If hit by this move, Torracat would probably suffer a lot of damage. But, Torracat dodged the DD Golden Hook Wall by a hair's breadth. Rushed directly behind Incineroar. It's now, Big Text is on fire. Meow. Xiaozhi seizes the opportunity and lets Torracat be destroyed with astronomy. Scorching flames flew out of Torracat's bell, and he slapped his lil paw hard. The flame instantly turned into a big character and attacked the roaring tiger who was using the DD Golden Hook Wall. Smash it right through. Laugh, the big text fire attacked the rotating roaring tiger, making a tooth-piercing sound. Then it was directly torn apart by the DD Golden Hook Wall. What? Throat chop now. While Xiaozhi and Torracat were in a daze, Kukui quickly ordered. The rotating roaring tiger stopped instantly, then closed its 5 fingers and turned into spikes. His right hand was covered in dark purple energy, and the tip of the energy turned into a spike. Stab the stunned Torracat hard. Meow. Torracat was hit in the abdomen, his eyes protruded, and he suffered great pain. Then he rolled all the way to a few meters away. This time the salted fish thrust hit the core firmly. Torracat. Under Xiaozhi's worried shout, Torracat slowly stood up. It's just that his expression is still painful. It seems that Throat Chop will have a hard time recovering from that moment. Oh, no, it's only the second stage after all. If Charizard comes, the situation will definitely be different. Don't be embarrassed, it has nothing to do with the stage, okay? Pikachu is still in the second stage. Do you think he is weak? It's just that Torracat is not level enough. I think it's better to replace him with 893 now. Many knowledgeable people have begun to analyze the battle situation, but the current battle situation actually does not require analysis at all. It is Xiaozhi who is at a disadvantage. The image still continues. Xiaozhi watched Torracat stand up in a daze, took out the Pokeball and tried to take it back. As a result, Torracat looked back at Xiaozhi, his eyes full of determination. He still wants to fight. Xiaozhi held the Pokeball for a moment, then took the Pokeball back. Advertisement: if you still want to fight, let's continue. Now Xiaozhi has experienced several regions and is no longer the stupid young man he was back then. Rotating Pokemon, tactical use, now he is also a master. However, his core point remains unchanged. That's respecting Pokemon's wishes. Even if the situation is at a disadvantage, if his Pokemon still wants to fight, he will not take it back. Torracat, Encore Flame Charge. Meow. Torracat's body was ignited with scorching flames again. Along with it was his strong fighting spirit. Oh, no exchange? Torracat said he can still fight? Come on. Meow. The third flame charge is issued, and at this time Torracat already has the speed of wind normal. He started to circle around Incineroar like crazy. Roaring Tiger looked around, his eyes constantly moving, trying to find Torracat's movement track. Torracat, use double kick. Xiaozhi finds the right opportunity and lets Torracat use double kick. Torracat came behind Roaring Tiger, the back foot kicks out, and the front foot steps down hard on Incineroar. Who knew that Roaring Tiger didn't even look, and hit Torracat in the face with his back elbow. It flew several meters away. How come? Ha ha ha, Xiaozhi, you underestimate my Incineroar too much, right? My Roaring Tiger is 1-on-3 every time in the royal battle. He has extremely powerful observation skills. In other words, he has no blind spots. In other words, the tactic of finding blind spots using speed tactics will not work. If you want to defeat Incineroar, you can only attack from the front. Speed is ineffective, frontal attacks cannot defeat Incineroar, and Torracat refuses to go back. Are you giving away a Pokemon to the opponent for free? Oh, Team Baby, there's no way to win. The champions shook their heads. They didn't know how to win in this 460 round. Although Xiaozhi in the video has grown up sufficiently. But, they still don't think Xiaozhi can command Torracat to take this move. Taking back Torracat is the right thing to do. Xiaozhi, let me show you what real fire is. Incineroar, use Blast Burn. Roar. Blast Burn. A fire-based trick that only the Yusan family can use. The power is even stronger than burning it up. Incineroar opened his hands and protruded his belt. Then a blazing fire energy condensed inside the belt. Then it exploded. The explosive flames turned into a fireball and blasted towards Torracat. The scorching heat made the entire Monaro Stadium audience feel like they were falling into a pit of fire. The bright red firelight shines on Torracat's face, and this terrifying power makes people sigh. Little Torracat, how can you catch it? Can you catch it with your head? Just then, the bell called the flame bag on Torracat's neck jingled. Xiaozhi was stunned for a moment, and he suddenly understood what Torracat wanted to do. So he shouted loudly, "Come on Torracat, just do it your own way, just let us take this move with dignity." At this time, Blast Burn has arrived in front of Torracat and then, boom! Torracat took Blast Burn directly without dodge. At this time, the flames were pressed against Torracat's face, and his two front paws were pressed hard against Blast Burn. The bell around his neck jingled. What's going on? Is Torracat crazy? I really need to pick it up with my head. Gigi, this is the first time I've seen this tactic. Is this a death-defying tactic? The audience was talking a lot. Both trainers and non-trainers were confused by Torracat's move. What the hell kind of operation is this, in the image? Professor Kukui also looked confused. He was already prepared for Torracat to dodge and then attack with Throat Chop. He had already figured out where the opponent would dodge. How come this doesn't follow the routine? Torracat was pressed against Blast Burn, and the bell on his neck was already glowing to the extreme. With Torracat's roar, Blast Burn's flames were instantly sucked into his flame bag. At this time, his flame bag seemed to be on fire, emitting a faint firelight. Suck. Absorbed? Professor Kukui shouted in disbelief. What operations has he not seen since he became the Royal Masked Man? But he has never seen this operation before. Can Blast Burn absorb it? Is your Torracat flash fire ability? Is it legal?
Audiences around the world were also dumbfounded. What is this? Ability Flash Fire.
Is there anyone who understands who can speak out?
Chapter 60. Dusk Lycanroc. A Pokémon that only belongs to Xiaozhi. Second update.
Advertisement after being certified by Johto Region Champion Long Jidu and Alola Region Professor Kukui. Everyone is even more curious about Xiaozhi's Torracat. Since he doesn't have flash fire ability, how does he absorb fire? Did he modify his fire bag into a fire-absorbing bag? At this moment, Torracat on the screen began to behave abnormally. I saw that the bell on his neck started to emit a slight flame, but now it has begun to emit some black smoke.
And Torracat also began to look pained. Professor Kukui looked at it for a moment, then smiled.
It seems that your Torracat is not yet ready to absorb the Roaring Tiger's Blast Burn. If you forcefully swallow the flames, you will be burned by flash fire. Kukui saw that Torracat wanted to use Incineroar's flames to increase his power. But that is the ultimate fire-type move after all, and it is released by his Incineroar. How can it be so easy to absorb? Now it seems that although Torracat has absorbed the flame, there is no way to digest it.
If this continues, he may be burned by flash fire.
Meow, the flame bag has more and more black eyes, and Torracat's expression becomes more and more painful. Finally, Torracat turned around and called out to Xiaozhi, who quickly put it back into the Pokeball. If this continues, it will just be giving away one for free. Naturally, Torracat will not be stubborn anymore. Just go back and use the Pokeball to gain some regeneration, and fight again later. It seems that the showdown between Torracat and Incineroar will have to wait until next time. Of course, Torracat is just going back to take a rest. He will be next. Xiaozhi's excitement continued, and a second Pokeball appeared. Originally I wanted to give some pictures to the auditorium, but once the pictures are given, it will affect a lot of people, and it will take a long time to switch back to the battle side, so I will take a look at it first, and I will try again when I have a chance. Give the picture. Click. Xiaozhi's next Pokemon appears, an orange and white dog. There are 4 rocks surrounding its neck, and the white mane on its back stands high, with a sharp rock on its mane. The emerald green eyes contain a deep fighting spirit. Xiaozhi's Lycanroc, Dusk form. Is this Lycanroc, Professor? Kiave looked at Lycanroc on the screen in disbelief. He asked Professor Kukui, who was already leaning against Professor Burnett. After learning that Professor Kukui is the Royal Masked Man, the already good relationship between the two developed rapidly. Now they can be regarded as boyfriend and girlfriend on the surface. Kukui was also looking at the screen in confusion at this time. He has never seen an orange Lycanroc, rather, there has never been such a Lycanroc in Alola. Normally, Lycanroc is only available in brown and red. One is the day form, and the other is the night form, evolving during the day and night respectively. But the Lycanroc owned by Xiaozhi is indeed in an unprecedented orange-yellow form. Suddenly, Professor Kukui remembered a rumor. It is said that there is a time between day and night. That time is known as dusk. This is the time that occurs briefly at the turn of day and night. And the color of Xiaozhi's Lycanroc is also closer to the color of dusk. If it really evolved at that point in time, then it would be quite difficult to reproduce this Lycanroc. Because dusk in Alola region only lasts for that moment. And the dusk moment is only one of the conditions. Who knows if there are other conditions? Baidu said the twilight time is 2 hours. I set Alola to a quarter of an hour to increase the probability of the Twilight Werewolf. I only know about the Twilight Werewolf in the game. I don't know if there will be a second one in the real world besides Xiaozhi. It's just a Twilight dog, so let's just set it like this. Therefore, this orange Lycanroc is probably unique to Xiaozhi. Professor Kukui has developed a strong interest in this future Alola Alliance first-generation champion. Although I had already had a lot of interest before. In the image, after Xiaozhi released Lycanroc, Professor Kukui still did not take back Incineroar. And now Incineroar uses Blast Burn, therefore, his Incineroar cannot move yet. This is the best time for Xiaozhi to fight back. Lycanroc, Yinshi attack. The great skill of the Rock series, Stone Edge, Lycanroc's basic skill, twice the restraint. At the same level, Incineroar takes the lead. Under Xiaozhi's command, Lycanroc raised its front legs and its eyes changed from green to red. Then he slapped it hard on the ground, one after another, sharp and huge rocks rise from the ground. At this time, Incineroar could not move at all and could only watch as rocks stabbed him. Boom! The sharp rock hit the Roaring Tiger hard and knocked it away. Roaring Tiger also had a look of pain on his face. Stone Edge left a small wound on his abdomen, and a trace of blood flowed from it. This move failed to kill Incineroar instantly. One guess is that the level of Roaring Tiger is much higher than that of Lycanroc. Another reason is because Roaring Tiger used Bulk Up to increase physical defense. So this attack only left a small wound. Xiaozhi planned to pursue the victory and gave the order again. Lycanroc, Encore Stone Edge, Incineroar, DD Golden Hook Arm. Advertisement facing the sharp rock that struck again, Incineroar finally regained his ability to move. His hands were on fire, spinning like a top. The high-speed rotation directly smashed the attacking rock into pieces. Xiaozhi's eyes narrowed and he shouted again. Lycanroc, use Accelerock.
Although Incineroar is spinning very fiercely now.
But after DD's Golden Hook Arm shattered Stone Edge, it was naturally impossible for him to lose his previous ferocious combat power. Incineroar at this time is nothing more than a facade. Xiaozhi is no longer the stupid young man who broke into the Indigo Plateau Conference. But he is the well-deserved first-generation Alola champion. Naturally he will not let this opportunity pass him by. Making a quick decision, Lycanroc used the fastest Accelerock. Accelerock. Daytime Lycanroc's exclusive trick comes with preemption plus 1 like quick attack. Lycanroc's ability is Hard Claw, so the power of Accelerock will be increased by 30%. The big orange dog kicked out with all 4 legs and rushed out normally like an arrow from the string. Boom! Lycanroc used the sharp rock on the mane of his neck to hit the rotating Roaring Tiger hard. Just as Xiaozhi thought, Incineroar is just swagger now. The seemingly powerful DD Golden Hook Arm was destroyed by Lycanroc in an instant. The Roaring Tiger's feet rubbed against the ground, leaving traces of several meters on the field before he stopped looking. Then I got a restraining move with a hard-clawed skill of this type. Even the first Shell Smash Dream in the universe with a +1 defense is a little unable to hold on. Kukui could only take back the Roaring Tiger first and let it enjoy a wave of regeneration. Regeneration Power Meme. Every time Xiaozhi takes back a Pokémon, his own Pokémon will receive a wave of blood, so the Regeneration Power Meme comes into being. Lycanroc is so strong, and he can learn Accelerock just like Lycanroc during the day.
Mamane, a fat little man with orange hair, looked at Xiaozhi's Lycanroc and said with shining eyes.
He himself prefers electric Pokémon, but Xiaozhi's Lycanroc gave him the idea of conquering other attribute Pokémon.
Hyabe on the side also looked excited, he also wanted this Lycanroc. Although Lily was shocked by the power of Lycanroc.
But more attention is still focused on Xiaozhi, free to command such a powerful Lycanroc. And he also has strong eyesight to see through the situation. The young man on the screen who looked only slightly older than her. Does he actually have such terrifying strength as a trainer? On the streets of Alola, the yellow-haired Gladian looked thoughtfully at Xiaozhi's Lycanroc. Then he took out his Lycanroc Pokeball and took a look. Xiaozhi. Alola's first-generation champion, the one who defeated me. I want to try to see if you are really that powerful. In the audience, although he did not see himself in the audience. But when Xiaozhi switched out Lycanroc, his image was shown on the screen for a moment. So he clearly knew that Xiaozhi's Lycanroc must have something to do with him. In addition, it is impossible for him not to participate in Alola Alliance, but the person who won the championship was indeed Xiaozhi. In other words, he lost to Xiaozhi. This makes Gladian, who pursues power, regard Xiaozhi as rival. After defeating the gods and even defeating him, I, Gladian, recognize your strength. Image 1 Kukui took back Roaring Tiger, and then released the next Pokémon. That's a large penguin covered in black. A crown-like horn extends from the mouth. The final evolution of the Sinnoh family, Empoleon. Whether it is water-type or steel-type, Lycanroc can be restrained. And it's twice as rock-resistant, a very tricky rival for Lycanroc. Empoleon? It would be better to let Pikachu go at this time. Cynthia looked at the screen and analyzed calmly. I don't know what attributes Xiaozhi's 2 mythical beasts are. And babies at this stage of Rowlet are given as gifts. The first 2 were restrained by Empoleon again, To sum up, using Pikachu is the best choice. But, Xiaozhi clearly told the world what a reverse attribute master is. This weapon doubles over Lycanroc, the advantage is his. Xiaozhi in the picture has no intention of taking back Lycanroc. After all, Lycanroc has just gained momentum now. He suppressed the Royal Masked Man's trump card, Incineroar. Lycanroc, crying stone attack. Xiaozhi chose to continue using Stone Edge to attack. So what if I take 2 cups of anti-rock? Taking too much will always be effective. Lycanroc puts his feet on the ground, and one sharp mountain peak after another rises from the ground again. Aren't you going to exchange? You are so unique, Xiaozhi, but this attack is useless against my Empoleon. Use Metal Claw to chop him up. Yinpei. The edges of Empoleon's wings glowed with metallic luster, and the sharp wings swung out fiercely. Cut into pieces the incoming Stone Edge. Lycanroc, grab the broken stone and attack with Encore. Advertisement, ouch. Lycanroc kicked off his limbs and jumped into the air. Then he grabbed a broken sharp stone and rushed towards Empoleon. Emperor Dan looked at Lycanroc holding a sharp stone in his mouth and was stunned. A blue figure seemed to overlap with Lycanroc at this moment. Kang. Hibiki? Aw. Mr. Dandy, what are you talking about? Xiaozhi was closest to Dan Emperor, heard Dan Emperor's muttering, and couldn't help but ask. It's nothing, it's just that I was a little dazzled for a while. Haha, let's watch the game.
Dan D asked Xiaozhi to continue watching the game, and at the same time shook the picture in his mind away.
Kang Shang turned into Lycanroc. How could I have such a dream? Picture 1 Lycanroc slashed Empoleon hard with a sharp stone in his mouth, causing a scratch on his black skin. But, ouch! When Lycanroc passed through Empoleon, he was also attacked by its metal claw. My body almost failed to hold up, but fortunately, I managed to stand upright in the end. Come on Lycanroc. Use Accelerock. Empoleon, Whirlpool. Empoleon raised his hands, and a huge turbulent waterspout slowly formed in his hands. Then Lycanroc Accelerock had already hit Empoleon. The sharp rock on its head pressed hard against the Emperor's belly, but... Yinpei. Black's penguin smiled fearlessly, and Accelerock did no harm at all this time. Then he kicked Lycanroc into the air, and then threw the Whirlpool Wolf in his hand away from the doctor. The turbulent vortex directly swept Lycanroc into it. He was like a puppy caught in a sea tornado, spinning crazily inside. This scene made Xiaozhi feel a little dazed watching the game. It seems, his Krabby just experienced such a scene not long ago. Come back first Lycanroc. Seeing that the situation was not good, Xiaozhi was about to take Lycanroc back, but the red light hit Lycanroc. It was bounced back directly. Haha, Xiaozhi, you can't take it back after being attacked by Whirlpool. Xiaozhi touched his head awkwardly. I accidentally forgot, in that case. Use Crunch to crunch Whirlpool. Ouch, Lycanroc's mouth grew, and a pair of black energy teeth appeared. Then he bit Whirlpool hard. The complete vortex was directly bitten with a hole. Lycanroc took advantage of the situation and jumped out. Professor Kukui. What is this? Is there such an operation? Can Whirlpool be cracked like this? Although Whirlpool was cracked, good for money, Lycanroc was already a little dizzy. If you catch the opponent's hydro pump in this situation, it will be for nothing. So Xiaozhi could only take it back first, as for why it can be withdrawn under Whirlpool. Don't be embarrassed, what is Whirlpool? Wasn't it Lycanroc crunched?
Let's rest first, Lycanroc. I'll leave it to you next. Melameta.
A huge silver giant appeared on the field. His arms, head, and legs are made of a large number of nuts. The rest of the body is composed of silver liquid. On the golden nut on its head, there is a small silver ball, which is his eye. The fantasy Pokémon, Melmetal. It is also one of the mythical beasts mentioned in Tiandao inventory. Judging from its appearance, this mythical beast is indeed quite intimidating. It's just not what the actual power is. Cynthia. I feel like Melameta is somewhat similar to the Holy Pillar King. Close black lens bracket. Brandon. Don't talk nonsense. That's a mythical beast that can move continental plates. It's a bit rude of you to compare it to Melu Meta. Close black lens bracket. A senior pillar fan will not allow anyone to insult his pillars. Cynthia. Okay, let's see how Milu Meta performs. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Brandon. Don't be a silver gun wax head. Close black lens bracket Mr. Brandon still can't stand Melameta who looks like the Holy Pillar King. It's okay if Cynthia doesn't tell her, but after telling her, the more she looks like her. Damn it. The Holy Pillar King is not like this. In the image, Xiao. As soon as Xiaozhi took out Milu Meta, he immediately started to attack. Use flash cannon. Meta. A blue-white beam of light flew out. Professor Kukui asked Empoleon to defend himself with both hands. Facing water and steel, Empoleon actually used steel skills. Didn't you know that Empoleon is 4 times more resistant to steel? However, the result was completely unexpected. Empoleon was directly hit by flash cannon, and was rubbed for a distance of more than 10 meters, then he sat on the ground. Advertisement, Professor Kukui. Torracat only has 2 abilities, Fierce fire and intimidation. It is impossible to have the flash fire ability. Yulongdu. Xiaozhi, is your Torracat legal? Why do you still have flash fire? Close black lens bracket. Xiaozhi said, I picked it up on the road, I don't know. Chapter 62. Second stage of fierce fire. Torracat is illegal, 4th update. Advertisement in the inventory of the 4th divine battle. No one expected that the first person to kill the gods would be Professor Kukui. His Incineroar actually defeated Melmetal head-on with only normal physical strength left. Although in terms of outrageousness, it is not as outrageous as Charizard and Pikachu. After all, of Xiaozhi's 2 Pokémon, one is of a poor race, an electric rat from the street. The other one is a Charizard that lacks its origin and is stunted. But in terms of the shocking degree of the scene, defeating a mythical beast with such close hand-to-hand combat and exchanging injuries for injuries. Even more shocking than the previous 2 games. Open black lens bracket Sydney. Oh my god, the Incineroar is so handsome. I want to get one done too. Close black lens bracket. Karen. Oh my goodness, I have a hard steel beast on the front. Is this really an ordinary Usangia? There is no way my Umbreon can compare with Incineroar. Close black lens bracket. Umbreon, standing next to Karen, watch trainer typing excitedly. Totally confused. If she knows that her trainer is slandering her, give her a present. Blaine. Go. Stephanie, why are you playing Incineroar? Such a brotherly Pokémon is naturally suitable for a macho guy like me. Close black lens bracket. Day. No, ABO. Don't think about Incineroar, I'm afraid you'll get knocked down. A macho guy like me is the one who's suitable. Dante. Haha, Incineroar, it feels like a very powerful Pokémon. Close black lens bracket. After Incineroar killed the gods, many champion elites started discussing it. After all, another Pokémon capable of killing gods has appeared. And the mythical beasts defeated by the opponent have a higher gold content than the previous mythical beasts. Alola region was rarely known to the public, but now it has become famous. Among them, Incineroar's reputation is even higher. Lance touched his chin. When Kukui fought with him before, Incineroar was not so powerful. It seems that after losing to him, the opponent got enough training. Originally, brother Tapu Xiaozhi had no hope of winning, and now there is such a strong roaring tiger. I can't even think of how to win. Yes, luckily I defeated Professor Kukui. Before Tapu Koko takes action, Professor Kukui has defeated brother Xiaozhi, a mythical beast. If Tapu Koko takes action, I can't even think of it. Earn points with tears. Many viewers who were originally not optimistic about Xiaozhi, after seeing Incineroar's strength. Xiaozhi's failure is even more confirmed. There is a mythical beast with a divine responsibilities behind it. Now that you have lost a mythical beast, how do you play? Can you still use Pikachu to defeat a mythical beast with a priesthood? You can't be stunned at all. What a powerful tiger, but I should also have an Incineroar, right? It's just that it hasn't evolved yet. He will definitely reach the same level as Professor Kukui's Incineroar in the future. Seeing that your divine beast is the first to lose its ability to fight. Xiaozhi didn't feel discouraged at all, but said with a little excitement. Just thinking about having such a handsome Pokémon in the future makes you so excited that you can't sleep, okay? Many champions were also stunned. That's right, Xiaozhi also has a Torracat. Of course, judging from the results of the first battle. Xiaozhi's Torracat is nothing like Incineroar's rival. But the future is promising. The images continue. After Milu Meta became charred all over, Xiaozhi quickly went up to confirm Milu Meta's condition. After seeing that his life was not in danger, Xiaozhi breathed a sigh of relief. Put it back into the Pokeball. You've done a great job, Melameta. Now you can rest and leave the rest to your partner. Xiaozhi said and returned to his trainer position. Then a Pokeball was taken out. Sure enough, if we are to fight Incineroar, it would be better to use him. It's up to you, Torracat. Meow, the vicious cat appears again. On the bell around his neck, there is still a faint light of fire. But there will be no more smoke. It seems that in the Pokeball, Torracat suppressed the power of Blast Burn very well. I'm afraid I've absorbed a lot, it's just that the time is too short to fully absorb it. If I could absorb them all, I'm afraid the current Torracat power could be improved by 1 or 2 levels. Is it Torracat and Incineroar again? Alder is a little strange. Why does Xiaozhi's Torracat seem to be very obsessed with Incineroar? Is there any grudge between them? Or does Torracat hate the evolved Roaring Tiger? I'm afraid Incineroar won't be able to deal with Torracat so easily this time. Cynthia looked at Torracat's bell that was still glowing slightly in the screen and analyzed. It seems that Torracat has absorbed a lot of the power of Blast Burn. Although the bell on it is still glowing, it no longer smokes. On the other hand, Incineroar has indeed proven his strength, defeating the powerful divine beast Melameta with his incomplete physical strength. But how much strength does he have left now? If he is not allowed to learn Pokeball for a while, the outcome this time is uncertain. The surrounding champions also nodded, agreeing with what Cynthia said. Incineroar is indeed very powerful, but manpower is limited and it is beyond its capabilities. The same applies to Pokémon. Today's Incineroar is probably reaching its limit. In the screen, Facing the Torracat released by Xiaozhi, Professor Kukui did not take back the Incineroar. This is because they have an agreement that transcends time and space. They are two Pokémon chasing each other, advertisement. Now on this stadium, they will decide the outcome in an upright manner. Foreignly refers to the fact that after Incineroar was hit by Stone Edge Accelerock, he fought with Melometa and used the remaining energy to fight Torracat. Torracat, Flame Charge. Are you still using Flame Charge? If that's the case, then continue to bulk up. Seeing that Xiaozhi still wants to rely on speed to fight, Professor Kukui also plans to continue the last strategy. Stop with stillness. Incineroar itself has added a level of defense, now after using bulk up. You can add another level. Roar. The roaring tiger raised his hands and roared, and the muscles all over his body seemed to be filled with water, normal. Torracat, on the other hand, was covered in crimson flames and kicked on the ground with all four limbs. With the speed of Spark Flint, he rushed in front of Incineroar and then slammed out. Boom. After a confrontation, Incineroar was directly knocked several meters away. Two ravines were created on the ground. Professor Kukui was stunned. During the bulk-up session just now, I could obviously eat Flame Charge freely. Why is it that now that the second stage is bulk up, it is hit so far by the opponent? When Professor saw the glowing flame bag around Torracat's neck, there was Incineroar's breathless look as he came to his senses. Now Roaring Tiger doesn't have much physical strength left. On the contrary, Torracat absorbed a lot of the power of Blast Burn released by Incineroar just now. Its own strength is even better than before, therefore, this Flame Charge move can directly knock away the Incineroar, which has two defenses. But that's not right. If Roaring Tiger really doesn't have much physical strength, where did you go, Fierce Fire? Professor Kukui looked at Incineroar suspiciously. As his trump card Pokémon, he understands Roaring Tiger's abilities only too well. He does not have a hidden ability to intimidate, but a normal ability to fire. They've already been disabled. Why hasn't the Fierce Fire been activated? You're not playing me, Ahu. Roaring Tiger, who didn't know that Kukui was slandering him, still had high morale. He waved to Torracat, indicating that what he just did was not satisfying at all. How could Torracat bear such a taunt? His whole body was once again covered in red flames. Then rush out quickly. Wait, Torracat. Good opportunity, throat chop. Xiaozhi wanted to stop Torracat, but Torracat, who was already on top, could not stand this kind of taunt. Flame Charge directly. The result is, roar. Incineroar's powerful dynamic vision clearly captured Torracat's movements. Dark purple energy covered its claws, and the 5 fingers closed together and turned into spikes. Like an abyss, normal sharp claws stabbed Torracat fiercely into Torracat's abdomen. Boom. Torracat was very fast, but Incineroar caught his next move. As a result, Torracat was unable to dodge throat chop and was hit directly in the abdomen. The fierce cat's eyes bulged and it flew out, thrown heavily onto the ground. Sydney. You are indeed an Incineroar. Even in the stage of being in the wind, you can still strike quickly and accurately. Close black lens bracket. Karen. Rather than saying that Incineroar is powerful, it's better to say that Professor Kukui is powerful. He must have spent a lot of effort to train Incineroar to have such strong dynamic vision. Bar. Close black lens bracket, Professor Kukui. That's not the case. After all, the size of Incineroar has increased dramatically after evolution, and its speed has also dropped a lot. For this reason, we can only work on dynamic vision and reflexes. Break with stillness. Close black lens bracket. Professor Kukui. Normal speed players can restrain heavy players, but my Incineroar has no weakness for you. Speed players will be restrained by it. Professor Kukui came out to explain why his Roaring Tiger is so powerful. One strategy is to use static breaking, and the other is his unique training method. From this we can also see how powerful a trainer Professor Kukui is. Dandy. To be honest, if it weren't for your title of Professor Kukui, I would have thought you were the champion trainer of some region. This breeder Pokémon and its battle ability are too strong. Close black lens bracket. Steven. If Professor Kukui is elected as the champion, then among the champions, Kukui's knowledge will definitely be the most extensive, and now when he is a professor, among Professor Kukui's combat power is definitely the strongest. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. Keep talking, I'm listening. Diantha. This time Xiaozhi has encountered a big crisis. Although he is the complete Xiaozhi, but Professor Kukui is not an ordinary person. Close black lens bracket. 0. Please give me flowers. If Xiaozhi takes out old Pokémon like Charizard, Greninja and adds mythical beasts, then there is still the slightest chance of winning. But now, in image Xiaozhi shouted Torracat's voice, and Torracat was also there. Xiaozhi stood up slowly with encouragement. Throat chop, which attacks +2, is not so easy to pick up. If it were Encore, Torracat might not be able to stand it. Meow. Brush. Advertisement. A white-red light appeared on Torracat's body. This is not Flame Charge, but Torracat's Fierce Fire has been activated. The Kukui people opposite Xiaozhi were all dumbfounded. You, Torracat, have activated Fierce Fire. Why haven't I, Incineroar, activated Fierce Fire? Very good. Keep up the momentum and use Flame Charge. Flame Charge again? Take your sights on the Roaring Tiger. This move will end him? Roar. As long as one hit Throat Chop, I'm afraid Torracat will be over. Scorching flames covered Torracat's body, and then rushed out like lightning. Torracat is faster. This is natural, after all, it has been accelerated twice by Flame Charge. The dynamic vision that Roaring Tiger is proud of can't even see Torracat this time. Meow. The next moment, I felt a huge impact on the side of Roaring Tiger. It turns out that Torracat has arrived beside the Roaring Tiger. Flame Charge hit his side firmly. After hitting the target, Torracat quickly bounced away, giving the Roaring Tiger no chance to counterattack. Then he rushed forward again from another angle. 0. Torracat, take advantage of the situation and use revenge. Boom. Torracat tackles Incineroar's back again. And the cat's paw was raised high, a special power condensed inside. That is the spite power that has always been lost to the Roaring Tiger, and has been hung up and beaten by the Roaring Tiger. This slap hit Incineroar directly on the head, it made him dizzy. Revenge is not only a skill that increases damage with emotions, but it also restrains Incineroar's fighting skills. This time Revenge probably did more damage than all the previous Torracat hits. After one move of Revenge, Torracat returned to Xiaozhi. And Incineroar was already half kneeling on the ground, panting and his eyes staring straight. This move Revenge is very powerful, it looks like Roaring Tiger is reaching its limit. Yes, fortunately, there is Intimidation that reduces Torracat's attack, and Bulk Up increases its own defense. Otherwise, Revenge would probably be over by now. Some knowledgeable viewers began to analyze the possibility of Incineroar's survival. After successive battles, and even defeated Xiaozhi's mythical beast, Incineroar's physical strength must have bottomed out. Revenge hasn't fallen to the ground after eating this, it must be because he lowered his attack due to intimidation. As a result, the next second on the image, Incineroar, we can't admit defeat here. Roar. Incineroar roared and stood up again, and the whole body is also covered in the same white-red light as Torracat. Fire starts, world viewers, many champions. No, is your Roaring Tiger legal? Are you just starting to fire now? Are you kidding me? However, the next scene made many viewers dumbfounded again. After Torracat saw Incineroar launch a fierce fire, he roared again, and the white-red light covering his body turned into deep red. Fierce Fire. Level 2. I originally thought Incineroar was pre-wall mounted. Unexpectedly, Torracat is as wall mounted as Incineroar. What the hell is this second level Fierce Fire? Are the Shell Smash Dreams in the Roaring Tiger series so awesome? No, I have to find a chance to go to Alola and tame one. Xiaozhi and Professor Kukui successfully started a craze for conquering Litten. Handsome, cool, resistant, and powerful in blows. Who could not love such a Pokémon that is the best in the universe? Xiaozhi, it seems we have reached the final stage. Kukui was also startled by Torracat's second stage of Fierce Fire. But, this is Xiaozhi after all, the man who has repeatedly achieved miracles, so he calmed down quickly. Yes, Professor Kukui, you should use that one at this time. As he spoke, Xiaozhi raised his left hand, and a pair of black and silver bracelets appeared in front of everyone. And there is a golden prism crystal on the bracelet. What is this? It doesn't look like the key stone, right? And even if it's the key stone, Litten can't mega evolve. Open black lens bracket Professor Kukui. What? It's the Z power ring, close black lens bracket, dandy. Z. Powerful bracelet. What is that? Close black lens bracket. Not only Dan Emperor was confused, but everyone in the world except the Alola region was confused. I've never heard of that Z bracelet before. Chapter 63. Collision of Z moves. The birth of the number 1 in the universe. Illegal roll it. 5th update. Advertisement, Professor Kukui. In the Alola region, there is a unique move called Z move. Close black lens bracket. Professor Kukui. That is an extremely powerful move. You need to go through the islands and pass the test of the guardian gods before you can obtain that move. There are 3 prerequisites for launching the move. The first is to have a Z ring, the second is to have Z pure crystal, and the third is to make the corresponding action. This is somewhat similar to Mega Evolution. If Mega Evolution is a continuous improvement, then the Z move is an explosive improvement. Although you need to wait for the Z ring to be charged before you can use it again after using it once, but if used properly, it will reverse the outcome of a game. Professor Kukui briefly introduced the principles of Z moves. It's just that everyone is still seeing it in a hazy way. I'm afraid only the Z move can be truly seen. Only then can you understand the power of Z move. Professor Kukui, if Xiaozhi can possess the Z power ring, doesn't that mean Kiave is the only student in this classroom who has visited the islands? Of course you know what the power bracelet represents. Yes, Xiaozhi has been recognized by the guardian gods. Actually, it's not surprising, is it? He is our Alola's first generation champion. Professor Kukui looked at the boy on the screen with a smile. From the first meeting, he felt that Xiaozhi and him seemed to be very friendly. Now, he seems to understand something. In the future, their relationship will definitely be very good. Open black lens bracket Steven. Professor Kukui, what is the Z power ring you were talking about? Close black lens bracket. Professor Kukui. The Z power ring is a bracelet that can use exclusive Z skills. Ordinary bracelets cannot use exclusive Z skills. Close black lens bracket. Steven. Exclusive Z. Interesting, it's so interesting. That sparkling stone is exactly what I yearn for. I will definitely go to Alola region to celebrate May Day when I have time. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Professor Kukui. Ha ha ha, I wish I could have asked for it. Close black lens bracket. Steven, who was extremely interested in stones, instantly fell in love with Z Pure Crystal. Not only does it have precious collection value, it can even be used as a means of reversing the game. Just like the Mega Evolution, it suits him. While several people were talking, the second person in the video, Xiaozhi, has taken off the golden crystal block and put the red crystal block on it. After Professor Kukui's explanation, everyone knew that this should be the Z Pure Crystal. What does the difference in color mean? Is it because the attribute is bad? On the other side, Professor Kukui also took off the red crystal in his hand. It's just that the crystal block seems to have an Incineroar head carved into it. Needless to say, the audience also knows that this is probably the exclusive Z that Professor Kukui said. A Z skill that can only be used by Roaring Tiger. It's just, why does he also wear the same red Z as Xiaozhi? Is the red Z stronger than the exclusive Z? Professor Kukui, this blow will determine the outcome. That's right. Let the collision of fire burn until the last moment. As soon as the words fell, their arms crossed in front of them at the same time. Z ring shines brightly. Xiaozhi opened his hands and made a come gesture. Then he stretched out his left hand and placed his right hand on his left arm. A scorching power rises from Xiaozhi's body. Xiaozhi is now as if covered in flames normal. This is our full strength. After shouting, Xiaozhi's firepower was directly transmitted into Torracat. Burn Incineroar. Use the strongest flame, burn up the arena. Professor Kukui's side also had scorching energy. Then poured it all into Incineroar's body. The two people's postures and slogans gave many viewers goosebumps. What is this? Are you shouting in the second grade? How weird. But why does it feel so handsome? Indigo Plateau Conference. Many champions looked at Diantha strangely. This was similar to the actions and slogans Diantha made just now. Why are they so different? Could it be that powerful moves always come with the risk of social death? You, look at what I'm doing, watch the game. Diantha exploded. These people almost reminded her of how she looked when she died just now. After that, watch the game, watch the game. The champions were distracted and meowed towards Diantha, but Xiaozhi never took his eyes off the screen from the beginning to the end. He really feels this line, this action, it's so cool, including the actions and lines of Diantha's championship just now, it's so cool. It's a pity that he doesn't have either Mega or Z ring now. I'm afraid he won't be as cool as he is in the picture in a short time. In the image, both sides burst out with terrifying fire energy. Super powerful ultimate explosive firebomb, too. Under the shouts of the two people, Torracat's firebag bursts into flames. The high-temperature flames formed a huge fireball and soaring in the sky. Incineroar's hands turned into claws, and the firelight condensed crazily in them. Finally, he raised his hands high, and the huge flame turned into a huge crimson fireball. The bright red firelight shines on everyone's faces. Advertisement: the terrifying high temperature made everyone watching the game at Monaro Stadium drip with sweat. Even before the moves of both sides collide, you can already feel the terror of the powerful fireball. The field became heated, and both sides stared at each other, throwing huge fireballs directly at the same time. Like flying fireballs, two burning bursting fireballs collided together. Caused a huge explosion. The flames shot straight into the sky, and terrifying waves of hot air continued to explode all around. The spectators at Monaro Stadium are watching the game with their lives. Flames burned the earth, and the fireballs from both sides collided to form a larger rotating pyro ball. For a moment, this force of power shocked the entire audience and soared into the sky. Torracat and Incineroar were both blinded by the dust and sand. The audience in the Pokémon world were also stunned. Is this a move that ordinary Pokémon can use? Wow. So cool. This move seems to carry the power of heaven and earth. Even if it is a move released by a divine beast, it is nothing more than this, right? Wallace. Lance, when you fought Moltres, who had the priesthood, was his flame so strong? Close black lens bracket. You Longdu. Maybe. Probably. Maybe. It's a little weaker than this Z move. Close black lens bracket. Even though Lance used a lot of rhetoric, everyone could see that Moltres flames are simply not as good as the flames released by this Z move. For a moment, the whole place was in an uproar. Is the Z move actually such a terrifying move? As long as the Pokémon itself is strong enough, as long as it can perform Z moves, it may be able to threaten weaker divine beasts. For a time, many elite champions had considerable covet for Z moves. If you can get the Z move, it will be a leapfrog challenge and a desperate comeback. It's not impossible. In the image, the explosive spiral flames on the field are still continuing, but both sides can no longer bear it any longer. Almost at the same moment, the two of them gave orders together. Torracat, use revenge, Incineroar, throat chop. Roar. Meow. Both sides shuttled into the huge flames together, and no one knew what the battle was like inside. After a few seconds, the huge exploding pyro ball slowly disappeared. Dust, smoke, and sand are also slowly falling. Torracat and Incineroar reappeared in front of the audience. Both Pokémon are standing. For a moment, Torracat groaned softly and swayed, but he did not fall down after all. On the contrary, it was Incineroar who let out his final roar. Finally he collapsed to the ground. Torracat wins. This little kitten can do it. Although Torracat has experienced many battles, he has just entered the fierce fire. In other words, at least at that moment, Torracat and Roaring Tiger have the same physical strength. That is to say, in the final collision, Torracat defeated the Roaring Tiger with equal physical strength. Do you think anyone's kitten can do this? This is Xiaozhi's Torracat. It can fire 2 stages of fierce fire. Brother Xiaozhi's Pokémon are indeed all hanging on the wall. Audiences around the world are talking a lot. However, most people believe that the gold content of this victory is not small. Although Roaring Tiger had consumed a lot of energy before, the two sides fired fiercely at the same time, right? That means everyone is 1/3. In this case, Torracat defeated the Roaring Tiger, which already said a lot. Brush. At this moment, the Torracat on the screen glowed blue, and its size began to slowly increase. From walking on 4 legs to walking on 2 legs. Torracat actually evolved after defeating Incineroar. Now, he is also the #1 Shell Smash Dream in the universe. Day. Woohoo, evolve. Now Xiaozhi also has Incineroar, close black lens bracket. Diantha. Actually, I think Torracat is pretty good. The Roaring Tiger still has too many muscles, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Lorelei. Agree. Close black lens bracket, Blaine. No way, right? There's no one who doesn't like the dream of being the best in the universe, Shell Smash, right? The Roaring Tiger needs to be strong, handsome and strong, and cute and strong, isn't it delicious? Asha. Mr. Blaine's co-writing only depends on the intensity, right? Roar. The evolved Incineroar looked up to the sky and roared, opening his hands, as if he wanted to release the haze he was suffering from. Xiaozhi ran to Incineroar excitedly and was about to express his joy. But when he ran to him, he felt something was wrong. Incineroar. You. I saw Incineroar's eyes turned white and his body was motionless. He lost the ability to fight while standing. You did a great job, thank you Incineroar. Next, I'll leave it to my friends. Although Roaring Tiger lost his fighting ability, Xiaozhi was still happy for him. Not only did he defeat his target, but he also evolved into the strongest posture doctor. This battle is the best advertisement. Xiaozhi and Kukui took back their Roaring Tigers at the same time. Kukui's Incineroar got up after Torracat evolved, looking like nothing was wrong. It's hard not to doubt that they were acting. This acting is not good. I pinched that part here, after all, it was a bit too outrageous when written. Haha. Currently, both Xiaozhi and Kukui still have 4 Pokémon, but Xiaozhi has lost 2 of them. Will only Pikachu and that Naganadel can take the lead in the future. Alder disagrees with Lance's statement. Can't Lycanroc be C? Who said before that Lycanroc is the same as Diantha? This is not on the same level at all, okay? Xiaozhi's Lycanroc doesn't either. It can be underestimated. Why don't you say Rowlet? I think Rowlet is quite cute. Cynthia said as she clicked on her phone and looked at the picture of Rowlet. Many champions gave her a look. Cute? Yes, it is very cute. Can cuteness be used as a combat power? The cuter it is, doesn't it mean that its combat power is weak? Keep watching, although Xiaozhi's chance of winning is slim, but I think he should still be able to defeat Tapu in 2 moves. Xiaozhi glanced at Steven resentfully. I have already assumed that I will lose. Although Tapu Koko is indeed very strong, my Pikachu is not weak either. Pikapi. Pikachu is cheering himself up on the screen. Now that he is not playing, it must be to accumulate stockpile strength to deal with the mythical beast. His big-skinned teacher is the best in the world, Pikachu. Image continues. After Xiaozhi and Kukui took back the Roaring Tiger, they simultaneously took out the next Pokeball. It's up to you, Rowlet. Come on, Braviary. Professor Kukui's side is a giant bird Pokemon with a red back and cyan front. There is a white crest made of 3 feathers on his head. Looks quite fierce. The fierce bird of Unova region, Braviary. On the other side, there is a cute round bird. The brown body, in its predecessor, should have had a tie composed of 2 pieces of green leafage. But it was blocked by the hooded coat he was wearing, and it turned into the shape of 2 crossed leafages. That's Rowlet's evolved type, a hooded jacket only available to Decidueye. The images on both sides form a strong contrast. One side is cute to the extreme, and the other side is fierce to the extreme. This time we are preparing for aerial combat. Brother Xiaozhi, did you pick the wrong Pokemon? So Rowlet looks like this. Cute is very cute, but isn't this kind of high-end Rowlet a free gift? There's a B***********D. I won't tell who it is. The audience recognized Rowlet's cuteness, but not his fighting ability. Regardless of body shape or appearance, both parties are completely different from each other. How to fight this? Yulongdu. Rowlet, the top faction, is indeed Xiaozhi. Alder. This is somewhat. Braviary is a ferocious bird in the Unova region. Its own abilities are much stronger than normal's domestic bird, Rowlet and him. If you fight. Dandy. Ha ha ha, that's why 4.7 is Xiaozhi. He always comes up with ideas beyond our expectations. Let's see how Xiaozhi directs Rowlet. Close black lens bracket. The battle on the screen has already begun. At the beginning, Braviary launched an air slash. For grass-type Rowlet, it is extremely effective. However, Rowlet easily dodged the air slash. This action made many people keenly feel that something was wrong. This Mumu. Why does it feel like it's a little fast? After dodging Braviary's attack, Rowlet backhanded a seed bomb. Woo! A gray stone from Rowlet's mouth spit up. The meteor that turned into orange hit Braviary hard on the head. Boom! Braviary was unable to dodge and was hit with a big blow. The whole figure fell down. The audience was dumbfounded. What skill is this? Is this seed bomb? Can seed bomb have such power against flying type? The gray stone that flew out hit Braviary and then bounced back into Rowlet's mouth. Yulongdu. Am I right? That one seems to be an immutable stone. Close black lens bracket.
Steven, you read that right. As a senior stone expert, I can tell you clearly that it is an aphrodisiac. Close black lens bracket.
Steven. Rowlet bombarded the immutable stone as the carrier of the seed bomb. On that seed bomb, there was not only the power of the grass type, but also the power of the rock type. Steven. So, this trick, seed bomb, is extremely effective for Braviary. Close black lens bracket. Kennen. Is it true, Mr. Steven? I don't study well, so please don't lie to me. Close black lens bracket. Rock Gym leader Kennen slowly typed a question mark. Can you also use the immutable stone to change the attribute of a move? That's really unheard of. Not only Kennen, but all the trainers in the world who use grass type and rock type are confused. Is your Rowlet legal? Can you still play like this? Chapter 64. Rowlet's painting. The most outrageous fight in history, 6th update. Advertisement. For the first time in history, dual attribute skills were used by Rowlet. Trainers all over the world are confused. Not only that, many people began to feel that something was wrong. Why does this Rowlet feel like it's also a wall hanging? You're not cheating like Pikachu, are you? Image continues. Braviary felt the shame after eating a deflated meal. He is so brave, but today he was almost knocked down by a cute creature. Is it unbearable? Not bad. Braviary, use Steel Wing. Bah! Braviary's dual wing beat was covered in metallic color, and then it quickly approached Rowlet from the ground. Encore seed bomb. Woo! The gray immutable stone is spat out again. The Everstone with orange light flew out normally like an arrow from the string. Braviary, who charged at extremely high speed, was unable to dodge and was hit in the head again. Fortunately, he was prepared this time, so he didn't fall.
Second bloom. Braviary's head already has 2 bumps.
Beep. Braviary, who usually has a bad temper, is angry this time. He rushes towards Rowlet with a look of furious madness. At this moment, Rowlet just swallowed the immutable stone. Seeing Braviary's ferocious face, I was so scared that I threw another seed bomb. This time Braviary can see it clearly. He used Steel Wing to fight back the seed bomb without hesitation. Rowlet subconsciously flew up and caught it, then keep spitting it out. Braviary hit back with a backhand. Just like that, 2 bird Pokemon played table tennis in the sky. Peeved. Xiaozhi's Rowlet is so interesting, I almost want to raise one. Cynthia couldn't help but smile as she looked at it. I also had the idea of raising a Rowlet in my mind. This Rowlet is stronger than I thought. Lance felt like he was slapped in the face again. Just now he was giving some advice. Xiaozhi sent Rowlet again. Isn't this a free gift? Now Xiaozhi told him backhand, you didn't expect that my Rowlet is also a wall hanging. Rowlet's level should not be low, but it has not evolved because of the immutable stone. Although it is indeed at a disadvantage in terms of ability value. It is not beyond the point of 03. Emperor Dan analyzed calmly, Xiaozhi's lineup in the Alola region seems to be quite good. Not as weak as it looks on paper. I originally thought the main characters would be 2 mythical beasts. Unexpectedly, the other 3 Pokemon also gave him a big surprise. Unfortunately, if the last divine beast is not Tapu Koko, but other divine beasts, or if Xiaozhi still retains the Z movement, there may be a possibility of turning defeat into victory. Now, Diantha said with some regret, with Z moves and Pikachu, maybe you can really win. After all, God killing Pikachu's name is not for nothing. It's a pity that now the opponent has defeated Xiaozhi, a mythical beast first. Winning this battle is impossible. I believe Pikachu can do it, Pikapi. My pickup truck is definitely the C best. Ha ha ha, having confidence is a good thing. I believe in you too, Xiaozhi, Pikachu. Mr. Dandy. Xiaozhi was so moved, now he is not the complete Alola Xiaozhi in the picture, he is just a fledgling. He's just a brat who didn't even finish the Indigo Plateau Conference. Dandy, the world's top trainer, trusts him so much. How could this not move him? Watch the game, watch the game. I don't know why, but I always feel excited when watching Xiaozhi's games. I really want to play against Xiaozhi in the future. Emperor Dan had longing in his eyes, if he could fight Xiaozhi. What kind of scene is it like? In the image, Xiaozhi's Rowlet and Braviary come and go. After another Seed Bomb attack, Braviary took the lead. No chance for Rowlet to use Seed Bomb. The metallic wings flap rapidly. In an instant, it was photographed on Rowlet's body. Rowlet's eyes bulged, and then he fell rapidly from soaring in the sky. Fell on the ground. Rowlet, are you okay? Woo. Rowlet's wings shook, the dust dispersed, and he appeared in front of everyone with almost no injuries. Wow. The whole audience was in an uproar. What kind of freak is this Rowlet? Being steel wing smacked down from that kind of place looks like nothing is wrong. As expected of Rowlet, the god of sleep, his defense is so strong. Of course, Professor Kukui, my Rowlet will not fall down so easily.
Advertisement. In that case, let's try this trick. Rock slide.
Well, under the instruction of Professor Kukui, Braviary screamed, and dozens of tiny rocks floated around him. With a wave of his wings, several rocks suddenly fell down. There was a sound of breaking through the air. Facing such a fierce attack, Xiaozhi commanded calmly. Use Substitute to dodge and then use Brave Bird.
Substitute, get out of the way. Substitute is a skill that requires a quarter of one's physical strength to be used.
With Rowlet's speed, there shouldn't be any need to use Substitute and just get out of the way, right? Why burn blood in vain? Just when the audience was confused. Rowlet gave them a wonderful performance. I saw Rowlet's wings trembling. The green hooded clothes on his body fell off directly, and he himself disappeared instantly. Several sharp rocks passed through the green hood, damaging it slightly. However, at this time, Rowlet has appeared in front of Braviary.
And it was covered with a layer of orange flame. The flame formed the shape of a giant bird, and as Rowlet flapped its wings.
With lightning speed, it tackled Braviary's body violently. Braviary was hit hard and fell from soaring in the sky, falling hard to the ground. It kicked up a cloud of dust. The audience was dumbfounded again. What is this? Is this what Substitute is used for? After this battle, Xiaozhi's Pokémon have been constantly refreshing their outlook on life. Professor Kukui, who fought against Xiaozhi, must have been numb. He only has one wall hanging, Incineroar. Every Pokémon in Xiaozhi's collection is hanging on the wall. What to play? No sound pill spicy. After the smoke cleared, Braviary was covered in bruises. This also allows the viewers to better understand where Rowlet is hanging on the wall. Resistant, fast, high attack, bug normal Substitute. Do you call this a Rowlet? When Decidueye saw it, he had to kneel down and shout, Big Brother. As expected of Xiaozhi's Rowlet, it's really hard to deal with. In this case, Braviary, use Shunlai. Although Professor Kukui has seen Rowlet's painting operation before. But he still found it unacceptable after watching it again, so he decided to start speeding up Braviary.
Braviary climbed up from the ground with a pair of wings.
Then he flapped his wings, and a strong wind roared behind him.
Tailwind is on. Braviary's speed doubled. Yulongdu. Are you using Tailwind now? It's too late.
Dandy. Maybe he was confused by Seed Bomb at first. In fact, it is not difficult to see that after the whole battle, he was basically in Xiaozhi's rhythm. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. Alola's Xiaozhi has really grown a lot. His commanding ability may not even be matched by some champions. Close black lens bracket. Have I really become that strong? Looking at Dan Emperor's evaluation, Xiaozhi couldn't believe it. Although he has always aimed to become a Pokémon master. But, most of the time he still knows how much he weighs.
It is really hard to imagine that he will have such superb commanding skills in the future.
There are such powerful Pokémon. Any Pokémon on the screen can hit all its teammates including Charizard. Unless Pikachu explodes. Believe in yourself, Shotaro. You may be underestimating yourself. There are not many trainers in the world who got 8 badges in just 1 year after debuting. And I think you have a good chance of winning the championship in this conference. In other words, you have the qualifications to be a champion. Be confident, Shotaro. Alder looked at Xiaozhi's lack of confidence and encouraged him. To be honest, in terms of talent, Xiaozhi may not be the strongest he has ever seen. But in terms of upper limit, Xiaozhi is really the highest he has ever seen. In the future, Xiaozhi may really become the most powerful trainer in the Pokémon world. Master Alder, you don't want to flatter Xiaozhi. He's already extremely swollen, and if you flatter him like this, I'm afraid he won't be able to find anything. At the critical moment, Xiao Lu comes out and pours cold water. In fact, Among the people who care about Xiaozhi the most, Misty is one of them. In order to prevent Xiaozhi from being overly inflated, she is the one who plays the bad guy every time. But she can really control Xiaozhi's bulging heart very well. I'm not bloated, Misty, don't talk nonsense, haha, only someone knows if it doesn't swell. The future Xiaozhi is actually very mature and steady, and he is the one who basically enlightens others. Only the Muji Xiaozhi is quite stupid, so there are few female protagonists in the future like Misty, who has been quarreling with Xiaozhi, especially Serena. Basically obeys Xiaozhi's advice. Haha, your relationship is really good. Who has a good relationship with him, her? The two said in unison, then turned their heads without looking at each other. Okay, let's continue watching the game. Professor Kukui has made another move. Steven gave a friendly reminder to the two people who looked exactly like a young couple. Then continued to focus on the image. Braviary, use Skydrop. Skydrop is a skill that can restrain a Pokémon and take it to the sky, then throw it down hard. After receiving the order, Braviary was like an eagle catching a chicken normal, and quickly attacked Rowlet. Braviary opened Tailwind and came to Rowlet in an instant. The sharp claws clamped down on Rowlet. Rowlet panicked instantly, danced with joy, and even had tears in his eyes. Just now it was like God of War Normal's bug Rowlet. Advertisement at this time, it was like a child normal panicked. This contrast made many viewers laugh. Ha ha ha, even though Rowlet is in crisis now, I still want to laugh for no reason. Rowlets are so interesting, I almost want to go to Alola to capture one. You're thinking too much. Rowlet is one of the 3 royal families, how can I give you such a good thing? Subdue it. Take a shower and go to sleep. Now Rowlet is at a disadvantage, but has gained countless fans. It's a pity that he hasn't been born yet, otherwise he would be very happy. Soon, Rowlet was taken to heaven by Braviary, then the brave eagle folded its wings and fell towards the ground like a shooting star. If Rowlet is really thrown down at this speed, I'm afraid I'll be seriously injured even if I don't lose my fighting ability.
Xiaozhi looked at the crisis that Rowlet suffered, and felt anxious for a moment.
Suddenly, he thought of the stunt Rowlet used in the previous game. Although I have no clothes now, but the last time I had no clothes. Isn't it also used? Give it a try and see if you can. Rowlet. Use Feather Dance to break free. Wooji you? Wooji you? Rowlet was stunned for a moment, and then recalled the scene when he was immobilized before. Then he started to exert force, and his wings vibrated regularly. When he was about to be thrown to the ground, Rowlet was shocked. A picture that shocked audiences around the world was born. Rowlet. Molted. The claws that were supposed to hold Rowlet firmly suddenly came up empty. Just because Rowlet shed his feathers and used a golden cicada trick to escape from his shell. Escaped from the claws. Dandy. Is this Feather Dance? Close black lens bracket.
Professor Kukui. Don't ask me, I don't know, I haven't seen it, I haven't heard it.
Professor Kukui is going crazy, what kind of Rowlet is this? Not only Kukui now, but Kukui on the screen has his eyes so wide that they almost pop out. Good guy, that shit Feather Dance, is this the painted skin?
You are even more outrageous than Mimikyu. You still have 2 layers of paint.
It's 630 now, use Brave Bird. Rowlet appears above Braviary after molting. Orange flames cover Rowlet's body again. Then Rowlet rushed out like a lightning bolt, Braviary couldn't turn back. There is no way to dodge. Boom, Brave Bird hits. Braviary can no longer resist and loses the ability to fight. Rowlet. 1. Open black lens bracket Steven. Lance, you are poisoning your milk again, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Alder. Lance, you are poisoning your milk again, close black lens bracket. Diantha. Lance, you are poisoning milk again Yulongdu. ###. Damn it. Although I really want to refute it, what they said seems to be the truth. Yulongdu. What kind of poisonous milk? I said before that Xiaozhi can't beat Kukui, it's impossible to win Tapu. Do you think the poisonous milk can take effect? It certainly can't. 1. Yulongdu. If Xiaozhi can defeat Tapu Wuwu, I will go back to my family and take out a dragon Pokemon egg for Xiaozhi.
Professor Kukui. I always feel like a mysterious power is coming to me.
Open black lens bracket Cynthia. Ha ha ha, Professor Kukui. Danger, close black lens bracket originally, Kukui was very confident that he could win this game. After all, no one knows the power of the patron saint better than him. But, Mr. Lance's poisonous milk is really scary. Rowlet can be so milked by him, Tapu Koko won't be diarrheaed by his milk at the critical moment, right? In the image, Professor Kukui's mouth twitched and he took Braviary back. He didn't expect Rowlet to be able to escape in such a way under such circumstances. You always surprise me, Xiaozhi, hee, that's a good tattoo. Xiaozhi, you have really grown up, let us continue to have fun fighting. With that Professor Kukui threw the next Pokeball. As a red light flashed, a giant Pokemon on all 4s appears on the field. It has a blue-green body, a frog-like head, and a huge red bud behind it. This is the final form of Kanto region's Gosonka, Venusaur. Venusaur is a grass-type and poison-type Pokémon, although it is restrained by Rowlet's flying type. But his poison system also restrains Rowlet. Venusaur. I miss you so much, Rowlet, we must continue to win, use Brave Bird. Woo! Xiaozhi still uses Brave Bird to attack. Orange flames covered Rowlet's body again. Then he rushed towards Venusaur with lightning speed. Kukui's response to this is Venusaur, the flower bud directly enveloped him. Audiences. What the hell? What kind of ridiculous operation is this? In full view of everyone, the powerful Brave Bird was directly wrapped in a flower bud by Venusaur. The soft petals directly offset most of the impact. Rowlet is struggling wildly inside, but Venusaur has no intention of letting him out. Just use the Sun Flame. Chapter 65. Xiaozhi. Today I will experience the pleasure of the Beastman, 7th update. Advertisement: the sun is blazing in stockpile. The screen also switched to the scene of Rowlet inside, during which Rowlet burst into tears. These tears can almost water the petals. I don't know why, but viewers around the world saw Rowlet crying. Not only did I not feel distressed at all, I even felt like laughing. The sun's flames soon accumulated inside Venusaur's bud. Rowlet couldn't use the golden cicada to escape. Then, boom! Saffron-colored light shot straight into the sky. The violent arrogance blew up the surrounding dust. Rowlet was directly hit by the sun's flames inside the bud. But the problem is actually not big. Rowlet is 4 times more resistant to grass. Even if it is the grass type's ultimate move, it won't do much harm to it. It was just the powerful impact of the sun's flames that made Rowlet a little dizzy. The plump little bird stumbled in midair as if it had drunk fake wine. Professor Kukui naturally would not miss such a good opportunity. Now, use the sludge bomb. Bana! Venusaur opened her big mouth, and dozens of black mud shot out like cannonballs normal. The target is pointed at Rowlet in midair. Xiaozhi shouted to get away. But how could the dizzy Rowlet avoid such a swift sludge bomb? Bang bang bang. The sludge bomb hits most of the hits. Rowlet's already unhealthy bloodline due to 2 brave birds has become even worse. Use Vine Whip to knock him to the ground. Take that. Professor Kukui pursues victory and must defeat this big boss and bug now. 2 assembled Vine Whips flew out from the side of Venusaur, making bursts of air-piercing sounds. The green Vine Whip hit Rowlet hard on the body. Once. 2 times. 3 times. The last 2 Vine Whips were thrown down from top to bottom. Rowlet was knocked directly to the ground in midair. Dust was everywhere, and mosquito-repellent incense had appeared in Rowlet's eyes. The referee stepped forward to make sure Rowlet wasn't asleep. Then it was determined that Rowlet had lost the ability to fight. Professor Kukui successfully defeated the big boss in Alola. Professor Kukui's Venusaur is so handsome. You have thoughts about Venusaur again? No, 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 I still like Rowlet. Who cannot like such cute and fierce Pokémon? Many people still prefer Sleepy to Venusaur. After all, Rowlet is already much better than Venusaur in appearance. And his own combat power is not weak, if he hadn't been injured twice by the brave bird before. It's not certain who will win or lose this time. Stop dreaming. Let's not talk about the difficulty of catching the Usangia. Let's just talk about Rowlet. Do you think everyone's Rowlet is brother Xiaozhi's Rowlet? And look at Rowlet's evolved sniper tree.jpg. FK. How did you evolve like this? Wow, give me back my round little bird. Conversations like this are happening all over the world. Next to every hot-headed person, there is a person holding a picture of Decidueye to help him cool down. Professor Oak. Now the situation has changed back to 3 versus 3. Xiaozhi and Professor Kukui each have a mythical beast that has not made a move, but from this point of view, the situation is at a disadvantage for Xiaozhi. 1. Diantha. Professor Oak and I have the same idea. Lance. Shut up. Stop sucking. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Yulongdu. Close black lens bracket, Cynthia. Professor Kukui said Lance should stop talking. Otherwise it will be difficult for him to win even if he has a patron saint. Ha 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 ha. Open black lens bracket Professor Kukui. Ahem, Mr. Lance, it would be best if you can keep silent. Close black lens bracket. Yoryuwatari. Got it, everyone is targeting me, right? I'm going to shout it loudly today. How can Professor Kukui, who owns Tapu Koko, lose? I don't know how to lose at all. Professor Kukui, who was far away in Alola, saw the words coming from Yulongdu. A little cold sweat broke out on my forehead involuntarily. Probably not. That's the guardian angel of the island. You won't be blown away by Lance's breasts, right? Professor Kukui, can I cheer for Xiaozhi? Lily said to Kukui with some confusion. After all, Xiaozhi is not Alola's champion yet, let alone her classmate. She should be cheering for Professor Kukui, but, looking at Xiaozhi at a disadvantage. Lily couldn't help but want to cheer for Xiaozhi. It's like there seems to be some connection between them normal. But, they have obviously never met, not just Lily, Water Lotus, Mamane, Mao, Kiave. They all want to cheer for Xiaozhi. Kukui looked at everyone and smiled helplessly. What are you talking about? Isn't Xiaozhi your classmate, our future companion? What's wrong with cheering for him? And he is our first-generation champion of Alola. Professor Burnett also echoed. That's it, Kukui only needs me to cheer for him. Go help Xiaozhi cheer for him. Just give me Kukui all to himself. Kukui immediately blushed at these words. We had obviously only been dating for a short time, but Barnett's offensive attributes were completely filled up. Advertisement Lily and others looked happy when they heard this, and then the whole classroom was filled with their shouts. Come on Xiaozhi. As the first-generation champion of Alola, you can't lose. Go, 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 defeat the island god, become the strongest in Alola. Little does Xiaozhi know that his future classmate has now turned against Kukui and started cheering for him. People will always want to cheer for the weaker party. Of course, the prerequisite is that they are fans of Xiaozhi and are not betting on dogs. In the image, Xiaozhi ran to the court and took Rowlet's green hooded cloak back to him. Then returned it to the Pokeball. This cloak was made for Rowlet by his most important family member. Don't break it on the field. That's awesome Professor Kukui. Hey, how can I fight against the Alola champion if I don't have any skills? In that case, it's decided that it's you Naganadel. Xiaozhi took out a cool blue Pokeball and threw it hard. Naganadel, covered in purple and resembling a giant wasp Pokémon, appeared on the field. Xiaozhi's fifth Pokémon, the Ultimate Beast. It is also a Pokémon that is called a Mythical Beast by Tiandao. Yu Longdu. The Ultimate Beast. It looks very handsome. Is this Pokémon Xiaozhi's second Mythical Beast? Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Professor Kukui, can you tell me something about this Ultra Beast? What kind of Pokémon is an Ultra Beast? Close black lens bracket. Professor Kukui. In the Alola region, there is a phenomenon called Ultra Wormhole. If you pass through Ultra Wormhole, you can go to another world. In that world, soaring in the sky is bleak and unsuitable for humans or Pokémon to survive. So the Pokémon that remain in that world are all very powerful. We also call them the Ultimate Beasts. The Ultimate Alien Beast will become irritable and restless after coming from that world to our world. Perhaps it is because the magnetic fields on the two sides are different. And there are rumors in Alola that the Ultimate Beast is actually the enemy of Pokémon and humans. But now it seems, either the rumors don't match up, or Xiaozhi has the magical power to turn the Ultimate Beast into his partner. I actually prefer the latter. Professor Kukui's words let people understand what the Ultimate Beast is. I originally thought it was a type of Pokémon, but I never thought that they were products of another world. And after coming to this world, he turned out to be the enemy of humans and Pokémon. However, Xiaozhi now has subdued this enemy and turned him into his partner. Is this Xiaozhi's affinity? It's really terrifying. Professor Kukui. I have never seen this Ultimate Beast, so I don't know what attributes and skills it is. You will know after reading it. I don't know what the timeline is, but the setting here is that Alola has not discovered Poipole and Naganadel yet. Even Alola's local professor doesn't know the origin of Naganadel. Everyone couldn't help but become more curious about Naganadel. In the image, Naganadel, who appeared for the first time in junior high school, looked aloof at first. As a result, within a few seconds, he froze in the roar of the surrounding audience, and his true colors were revealed. The big purple eyes were slightly curved, the corners of the mouth were raised, and then they were flying wildly and soaring in the sky. He looked very happy. Anyone with a discerning eye can see that Naganadel is so happy because of the compliments around him. This also made audiences around the world smile. This Ultimate Beast doesn't seem to be as scary as Professor Kukui said. Quite cute, Naganadel, let's work hard together. Love. I listened carefully and realized it was really called that. Naganadel is a tricky rival. Can Venusaur join? Bana. My Venusaur is not weaker than any Pokémon, even if the opponent is 4 times more resistant to grass and twice more resistant to poison, so what? The photo is correct. Naganadel, Sludge Bomb. Xiaozhi took the lead in attacking. The huge needle at the end of Naganadel was aimed at Venusaur, and then several black sludges flew out like normal cannonballs. Venusaur, we also use Sludge Bomb. Bana. Venusaur opened her mouth wide, and the same number of sludge bombs flew out. The two waves of attacks collided together, creating a huge smoke. Naganadel, Dragon Pulse. Love. Naganadel's huge gun barrel once again condensed energy. The huge energy condensed into a purple-blue dragon head, and then flew out. Dragon Pulse transformed into the Dragon of the West, just like flying through the clouds and flying through the fog. Normal, it quickly passed through the thick smoke. Venusaur, be careful, Professor Kukui quickly reminded. But in that thick smoke, Venusaur had no idea where the attack was coming from. The next moment, a huge dragon head suddenly appeared beside him, and then hit him hard. The violent energy not only caused Venusaur a lot of damage. The huge impact even knocked him to the ground. The flower buds on her back hit the ground, and Venusaur couldn't turn over for a moment. Professor Kukui's eyes were as wide as bells. Why is this happening? Good opportunity, Naganadel, Encore Dragon Pulse. Advertisement, love. The purple-blue dragon head condensed out again and attacked Venusaur without any fancy. Venusaur, whip up with Vine. Professor Kukui thought about it in a flash. Policy, but Venusaur has no time to use it. Boom. Dragon Pulse hits again. Huge dust bursts out, and a few seconds later, Venusaur's figure appears in front of everyone. Venusaur had turned over at this time, but his eyes had already turned into mosquito-repellent eyes. 2 moves of Dragon Pulse directly made it lose its fighting ability. The power of the ultimate beast is so terrifying. Professor Oak. It is indeed the ultimate beast that Tiandao considers to be comparable to the divine beasts. That Venusaur actually has elite-level combat power, but it was directly hit by 2 Dragon Pulse shots. Kill instantly, its power is evident. Close black lens bracket, Yoryuutari. Yes, Professor Kukui on the screen is already much stronger than when he fought with me. His Venusaur can even compete with Elite's top Pokémon. Cynthia. Haha, Xiaozhi encountered mythical beasts every time he competed. Although he won, it was extremely difficult. Now he has experienced the pleasure of a mythical beast. 1. Koga. I'm envious. I also want a poisonous beast to play with. Based on the 2 skills released by Naganadel, everyone has already guessed Naganadel's attribute. Poison plus Dragon. The power of his 2 skill releases are actually almost the same. They should all have the bonus of this attribute. Therefore, attribute can be easily guessed, so Koga enviously said that he wanted to retype the mythical beast. Naganadel looks cool, and his attributes match him. I really want it. Now it's Professor Kukui who is at a disadvantage. Haha, disadvantage? It's just a superficial disadvantage. Tapu hasn't even taken action yet. One thing to say, it's true. Alola's Xiaozhi is so strong. If it weren't for Tapu Uwu, this battle would have been won 100%, what a pity. Many people are feeling sorry for Xiaozhi. Fortunately, this is just an exhibition match. Otherwise, Xiaozhi's mentality may have collapsed. Such a terrifying lineup cannot win the championship. In the past 6 conferences, we failed to win the championship. If we can't win this time with 2 mythical beasts. That was really a collapse within a collapse, in image. Kukui takes back the defeated Venusaur. When Xiaozhi first came to Alola, there was only 1 Pikachu. And all his current partners were conquered in Alola. In just such a short period of time, he has become comparable to, or even surpassed, his champion-level trainer. Xiaozhi's talent, as well as his talent for conquering Pokémon, are really terrifying. But he had no intention of giving in just like that. Over to you, Lucario, Professor Kukui's 5th Pokémon, Lucario.
At present, Xiaozhi still has 3 Pokémon, while Kukui, Zhao Li Zhao only has 2 left.
3 against 2, the advantage is mine. JPG, Naganadel, can you still fight? Love, Naganadel turned around and said there was no problem at all. He had almost no consumption just now. Very good. Let's keep going. Professor Kukui straightened his hat and said with a smile. I'm not polite to attack first. Lucario, use extreme speed. Right from the start, use super fast skills like extreme speed. Lucario's whole body was covered with white light, and then he turned into a stream of light and started running around the field. Naganadel looked left and right and found that Lucario seemed to be everywhere on the field.
Lucario's extreme speed feels like a shadow clone.
Now, use Dragon Pulse. After Kukui's order was given, Lucario appeared behind Naganadel in an instant. Purple-blue energy burst out from his hands, and 2 dragon heads appeared on Lucario's hands.
Opalucid goes to sea. In an instant, 2 huge dragon roars fiercely attack Naganadel.
However, the next moment, Naganadel's figure disappeared. Dragon Pulse is empty. Naganadel appears behind Lucario. 2 levels of reversal. It's our turn. Naganadel, use Dragon Pulse. Love. The huge cannon barrel was aimed at Lucario, and the single-shot dragon head flew out. If Lucario's Dragon Pulse is Opalucid's release, then Naganadel's Dragon Pulse is. The flying dragon is in the sky. The Dragon Wave, which was bigger than Lucario's 2 Dragon Pulse combined, hit Lucario hard on the back. It flew directly to the ground. It kicked up a huge burst of dust. After the dust cleared, Lucario stood up reluctantly with his legs on his back. But there were already a lot of injuries on his body. Venusaur was defeated by Dragon Pulse in 2 moves. Naturally, Lucario couldn't survive 2 moves. If you come here again, you probably have to go back to Pokeball Rest. Lucario, Aura Sphere. Dragon Pulse counteracts him.